Oh, the music stopped. No, hold on. There we go. I forgot I muted it on this one. Oops. So jarring just to have it. It's like a jump scare. How's it going, guys? Can y'all hear me okay? What's good? What up, Blind Tech? What's up, what's up, what's up? Does it sound okay? Music not too loud? My voice not too loud? I've got the AC on again, so... Silly Goober, what's up? I love your profile picture. Sam, what's up, Sam? Yellow Mind, Nathan Tasker Force, what's up, dude? Reluctant Hero, what's up? Vin, how are you guys doing? I'm not late, dude. You are right on time. You're right on time this week. And look at me being consistent. I said I was going to do it every week, and look, we're doing it. We're doing it every week. What's up, Nathan? It's great to be here again, bro. It's good to have you, man. George. Hey, Jason. What's up, George? Do a custom loop as your next $100 PC build. That's not possible, man. I don't know what to tell you. I respect it, but the only way to make that possible is if I steal, right? I go steal some piping or steal a computer from someone. It's just not good. Good. How are you? Doing good, Yellow Mind. Blind Tech scored some good stuff on Facebook Marketplace today. i3 10100F, B450M, 16 gigs of DDR4 for $70. Pretty good. Steal the components right on my mind? No way. I you know what? I was considering doing an April Fool's video this year, and it's one I've had in my mind for 2 years, and I keep forgetting to make it. And it was going to be the $0 gaming PC build, where basically it's, you know how we have $500, $600 gaming PC build videos. This is going to be a $0 one, but every component was going to be it was going to be a different way to make it $0, right? So like we'll say like, okay, here's the CPU, the 14900K, and I bought 10 of them, and then I sold all of them at a slight advantage except for one. So using cost averaging, this was basically $0, right? Or doing like boy math to get everything down to zero, or like one of them was like stealing or something. You know what I mean? Like having all these different ways to get components that would eventually equate to zero in a really stupid way. And I thought it'd be a very funny April Fool's video. And I really need to make it and just have it ready, because April Fool's always comes around and I'm busy. And then Danny reminded me that I don't have to make it in March. I can make it in February. I can make it in January and just hold on to it, because like not much changes in that. And it's a joke video, so it doesn't matter. But it would be really, really funny. I'm just worried a lot of people won't get it, even though it's clearly an April Fool's joke. So I might have to like crank up the silliness to make it really obvious. Look at this guy living his best life. Thank you, Renato, dude. You're living your best life? You're eating hot dogs every day. That's my best life, man. Alex Hustech, what's up, dude? Make a PC that can run Tetris at 1000 FPS. I don't know if that's possible. Let me think. Yeah, I don't know if that's possible, man. Unfortunately. I think we could easily get to like 700 FPS if we brought down the resolution. But at that point, it's like becomes really CPU bound, and it's just hard to do. I don't know if it's possible, to be honest. It'd be cool though. 500, I could do 500 for sure. I could figure out a way to do 500, but 1000, it's like really, really tough. I know it just sounds easy to like say 120, 150, 100, 200 FPS, but it's like it gets exponentially hard the higher you go. Even if it's like on a 5090, it could be pretty tough. Mine can run it at 12 FPS. Okay. What's up, Firestorm? What's up? What's up? Do you think AI will ever be strong enough to get Drew a wife? Nah. I think Drew's going to have to find a woman who has a couple kids and daddy issues, and maybe he can, maybe she'll think she can fix him. Hopefully. What GPU should I grab for my custom loop to pair with a 7500F? Custom loop doesn't matter. I will say what GPU. A 7500F can really go with anything. Honestly, I would just say if it's like a 4080 or a 5080 or higher, I would get something better. But anything below that, honestly, 7500F would be okay. If you're just gaming, I would say no problem with that. But in that same price range, if you want to pick something that's in the same price range of a 7500F, you could do like a 5070 or a 9070 XT, but they're not in stock. So Drew, ayo, WTF, bro. Sorry, Drew. I'm glad you were in here, because if I did that, I assumed you were in here. But if I had done that and you weren't in here, and then you saw it like a week later or heard about it from someone else, that would be really mean. Best current combo is a Costco hot dog and a drink for $1.50, and then the big chocolate chip cookie for $2.50. Can't beat it at $4. Yo, best bang for buck meal. Best bang for buck meal. Honestly, Renato, I would not go for the fact that you're paying almost double what you would for a hot dog and a drink for a cookie. Cookie is empty calories, man. And I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's worth it. My perfect combo at Costco is getting a pizza slice and then the hot dog combo. It's usually a little bit too much food though, so me and my wife will usually split the hot dog. So like she'll get a pizza slice, I'll get a pizza slice, and then we'll get a hot dog and drink combo. And so that'll be, how much are the pizza slices? $2, $1.50, I can't remember. And so all in all, it's like $6 for both of us for like a good amount of food, and it's pretty good. Tech Grant, what's up, man? How you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for coming over, man. I can't afford a PC that can do 60 FPS. That's okay, man. Eventually you will. Don't worry too much about it. Play games what you can for now, and then just start saving up. Or just wait. That's how it works. Big fan of your builds. What's up, I am Theo? Question: in 2025, I got a used X470, a Ryzen 9 5900X, 64 gigs RAM combo. Is it any good? Yeah, what's wrong with that? Is a Ryzen 9 any good? Yeah, it's good. That's that's a good one for sure. So with the 7500F, Silly Goober was thinking a 6950 XT, a 7800 XT, a 7900 GRE, since I'm too broke, 50 series, 80 series card, or even 97. Yeah, all great. Of those three, honestly, I think the 7900 GRE might be the best value if you can get it. Then I would go 7800 XT, and then if I can't find those two, then bring it down to like a 6950 XT. I don't know the prices. I feel like those are a lot, but that's the value I would go in: 7900 GRE, then to 7800 XT, and then to whatever. But yeah, for sure, good builds. You'll have a great time. Sam says, me listening while I shower is crazy. Need to hurry up and vibe with chat. Okay, I want y'all to be honest. How many of y'all take your phone into the shower? Be honest. And I'm not talking about like you play music on it and leave it outside the shower. I'm talking about it's coming in with you. You have a way to bring it in with you. How many of you people have a way to watch YouTube while you shower? Let me know in the chat. Have you had the cookie? It's a good cookie. I don't think I actually have had the cookie, I'll admit. I know it's big, and I assume it's very good, because the rest of the food's good. So I have no problem thinking, why wouldn't it be good? I'll give it a shot next time. It's just generally like, I don't want such a big cookie. You know what I mean? Maybe I'll share it with my wife next time, though. It does look good. It looks very melty, which I'm super into when it comes to cookies. Nathan says, I love Costco, but the nearest one is an hour away from me. I need to think about joining to get the combos and some upgrades for my house. Honestly, dude, like, even if Costco was an hour away from us, I think I would still have the membership, because even if you go only like once a month, it averages out to being worth it, especially if you drive a gas car and you're filling up. Obviously, if you're filling up a bunch of times, it's absolutely worth it. But even like once a month, and then plus, you know, you're buying in bulk. So we wouldn't even, we don't go that often. It's about once a month, I'd say. But even at that point, it's worth it for me. If they increased the price to like $100 or $120, I don't know if I would do it anymore. So we'll just have to see. What GPU should I buy for 1080p games for €100? I was thinking about the RX 590 by IDK. I don't know what the prices are like in your country, Yellowmind, so I can't say for sure. But I'm just going to say for 1080p games, yeah, you can get a 590. I think that's a little bit outdated now. So I would recommend, if you can get like a GTX 1080 or a RTX 2060. I don't know if those goes down to 100 pounds at this point, or sorry, 100 euros. But if you can get them at that price, that would be cool. Yeah, I'd say a 590 is a little bit too old at this point, and that's a little bit too high of a price for it. I would go more of like a GTX 1080 or an RTX 2060, or yeah, that's what I would do. Thoughts on the tariffs forcing an indie gaming renaissance? So the tariffs are troublesome, aren't they? I don't know if it's going to create an indie gaming renaissance. It's a funny way to put it. And I think I don't know. I think why you're saying that is basically people aren't going to be able to afford higher end components, and they're going to be forced to play indie games, meaning more indie games will be made because more people are going to be playing them because the tariffs are so high. But you know, the tariffs are in America only right now for the most part. So we'll see. That would only happen if and of course on like the Switch and any new consoles as well. That would only happen is if the tariffs lasted for a long time. So if these tariffs lasted for it takes years to make games. So I think a renaissance wouldn't happen for a couple of years. And I don't think anyone in the world will want to keep these tariffs for too long. Personally, I think either they're going to break down or they're going to make a deal or something, unfortunately, because it's unsustainable. So we'll see what happens. Sleepy Mushroom, what's up? My two favorite Jamaicans are here. What's up, dude? Okay, so asking about people who bring their phone in the shower. Blind Tech does. James does not. Yellow Mind sometimes. All right, there's the three. Yes, no, maybe. You're chronically addicted if you got to do that. Silly Goober calling you guys out. Sleepy Mushroom does bring it in. Tech Rants brings it in for music. That's it. Sounds dangerous. Watch Gamers Nexus while showering. I don't take it anywhere near my shower. Do y'all wash your shins every time you shower? Absolutely. I get in every crevice. Parts list. So the parts list for what we're doing today is down in the video description. You can see it. We'll get started soon. Did you see there's a 9700 GRE coming soon? I did not. That's very cool. It doesn't make any sense. The year of the rabbit's over. Why are they calling it GRE? But that's cool. Yeah, I like those. Thanks for the feedback. No problem, dude. The Yellow Mine lives in Italy, so I have never been to a Costco. That's okay, Yellow Mine. You're not missing too much. There's much better stuff in America than a Costco. I just listen to System of a Down and Incubus while I shower. Oh, so you're 40, Silly Goober. Gotcha. Go for the A380 for the sub 200 USD. The A380? I don't know. I think that we have better stuff. It just depends on where you are. In Italy, it might be different. 10% here in the UK. Oh, the tariffs, yeah. Robert Fix It. What's up, dude? Fashionably late. No problem. We haven't even started. We're just hanging out. I'll be lurking. Thanks, Tech. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming, Grant. I'm broke. I don't have $200 or 200 USD. My budget is 400 euros. Okay, as for someone who did phone repairs, the moisture does get in the phone. It absolutely does, for sure. And no phone is actually like fully waterproof, but phones have gotten so much better in terms of like how much moisture gets in. And so I feel like if you take a 10-minute shower and your phone is in the bathroom, I think you're going to be okay. You know what I mean? Blind Tech says he doesn't watch stuff. He mostly just jams on his speakers. Nice. Don't diss my music taste like that. I'm 15. Silly goober. I'm telling you, I have not heard someone say they listen to Incubus in a very long time, and the last person who did is a 40-year-old man. That's why I said that. You can like the music. It's not a big deal. I was just surprised. I thought most 15-year-olds listen to Skibbity Toilet remixes and Fortnite dance compilations and stuff. It stands for Great Radeon Edition. That's funny. Why? That makes sense, though, I suppose. Yeah, I was going to say, why? How could they do the Great or Rabbit Year or whatever? I like making my bathroom wall shake when playing music on my JBL speaker while showering when I feel like listening to music. I bet your family loves you. Okay, so it does mean Great Radeon Edition. Okay, it's still pretty silly, but I'll accept it. Now, taking your Switch in the bathroom, different conversation, LOL. Okay, so let me ask y'all. Who here has played on a gaming device while on the toilet? Let me ask that. And that does not include your phone. Okay, we'll say, I'm just going to assume all of you are on your phone when you're on the toilet. I'm just going to assume it. I'm sorry. But have you ever taken a Switch or a Steam Deck, or I will say your phone if you played a game on it? So have you been playing actively playing a game while you're on the toilet? Let me know. I'm only 39. Hot. Bro, Science is the best album ever made. Very cool. Don't let him shame you. Incubus is in my top 3 as well. I'm not shaming anyone. I was just surprised. It's like if someone came in and said, I love listening to AC/DC, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But I will immediately assume they are of the 40 or 50 plus crowd. Because most people listen to music from whenever they were young, and then they keep listening to it. So that's it. That's all it is. No judgment. All good. 80s has the best music. I do like a lot of the vibes from the 80s, and I see that a lot in modern music as well. But I don't know much about music, I'll be honest. Are AliExpress AM4 motherboards reliable? Kind of. I haven't had any die on me yet, but they are probably going to be a little bit less reliable than any big time motherboard manufacturers. Probably, yeah. And you probably won't be able to activate any warranty. It would be very difficult to contact them, I'm sure. So it might not be worth the saving the $20. Okay. If people using game devices on toilet, never. Yep. All the time, Skyrim shits are the best. Nope, I don't game in the bathroom. So good, bro. Nope. Game Boy Advanced. What's up, Mr. C&D? Only phones or tablets. Absolutely. I've played my Switch Lite while in the John. I played the Steam Deck. One time my phone was dead, so I had to use my Chinese version of the Game Boy. No handheld anywhere near my toilet, but I don't have one anyway. There, in one of my very earliest videos of Steam Deck content, I had a scene where I recorded myself on the toilet playing the Steam Deck. And at one point I'm like playing it, and in the footage I reach back and grab the toilet paper, and it the reach back part, I don't think it made it into the video, and I don't think people realized I was on the toilet. Like, not a single person commented saying like, is bro on the toilet? And so I think it just looks like I'm sitting in a chair because you can't really see the toilet. It's not very apparent that I'm in a bathroom, and I think about that a lot. Toilet is for trolling comment sections on YouTube. Oh my gosh. Hades is my toilet game. That's a good one. People talking about their music, Metallica, Linkin Park. I listen to rap. You guys are really into music. I'll one-up Incubus. What do y'all know about The Offspring, Rage Against the Machine, or A Tribe Called Quest? Heard of Rage Against the Machine, but not the others. SOAD is best. Nice. I don't listen to a lot of music. I will mostly listen to like songs that don't have words, like Simpson Wave, or any kind of like electronic music that's just soundscapes. I kind of like that. But for the most part, if I'm going to listen to something, it's generally going to be either a podcast or an audiobook or a YouTube video or something like that. So I much rather prefer listening to people talk and like learning education and stuff. So I don't often listen to music. It's generally just background noise for me. TTS, yeah. So TTS is the system means text to speech. So if you've ever seen those Twitch streams where like you have like a AI voice saying things in the background, that's turned on for this stream. So anytime you donate, I think it's like $1. I think $1 is the minimum, maybe $2. If you donate or super chat, or you go to the link in the description, there's a TTS link. It will come up and be read up on screen. So not only will it come up visually on screen, we can all hear it. And it has all this very different sounds, and like you can do SpongeBob voices and stuff. Seems really funny. Have you seen the Minecraft movie? No, I don't think I will. I don't think I will. It seems fine though. Apparently, it's not that bad. I've heard people say like it's actually fine. Like it's nothing crazy. So that's cool. Good for them. Thrill House, yes, Thrill House is great. I would pull it up, but I'm worried I'm gonna get copywritten. I only listen to the soothing sounds of Jason Whitmer, especially for my special alone time. Oh my gosh.
TTS test. Here you go, peeps.
There we go. there you go. So Blind Tech did the test. So yeah, that's basically it. Thank you, Blind Tech, for the donation. Appreciate it. Yeah. So if you do that, it'll just do like that AI voice. But if you go to the link in the description, there's a website that's like Monster AI or Monster TTS where you can use like SpongeBob's voice or like all these different voices, and you can get like several lines. And I've heard people like do full conversations. It's really funny. I pirated the Minecraft movie, and it was the leaked, unfinished version, so half of the CGI was either really bad or not there. What's the point then? Hazards me. What's up, dude? Yes, W Blind Tech. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Very cool. So the PC we're building today is a little bit unorthodox. Generally, how I do these is that I'll make a video on it because I like got a good deal on something, or it's like it's components that I think work well together and should be put into a PC and people can replicate. That is not the case today. The PC I'm building today is actually for someone. It's for my cousin. It was commissioned by him, and so he actually commissioned two. The first computer was a much bigger budget computer before tariffs hit, and it was like $1,200. And so he wanted it to be RGB and be white, so it's not like the best price to performance, and we really can't get any GPUs right now at that price point. So for that one, we kind of just went a little bit lower on budget, and he's gonna upgrade the GPU when the time comes. But then he wanted a second computer for his son, or to just have at the house and just have ready. And he said, you know, I don't want it to be fancy. I don't want it to like be extra whatever. As long as it plays in 1080p, all my games, I'll be fine. Because it's just gonna be extra. It can even be ugly. And I said, okay, fine. I'll build a computer using mostly parts I already have. Like, because I have, like y'all know, for other PC builds, I don't always sell off the components. I sometimes I'll like take them back and use them in other builds. And so I said, you know, I have a bunch of stuff lying around. I will help you out, build a computer at around a $500 budget, but it's not going to be pretty. So I'm like using like a used case I had. So it's like kind of dirty. It needs to get cleaned. using discarded RAM, a cheap power supply, all that stuff. So it should still be plenty strong, and you guys might recognize some of the components from other videos. And I just realized I left one out there, but I'll have to go get it when the time comes. But yeah, that's what's going on. And y'all can't see it, but this room is an absolute mess. I am painting my closet right now, and we are, if y'all have been following the stream for the last few weeks, we're doing a lot of home construction. The floors are done, and so now we're working on painting stuff. And so all my stuff was in the closet, and now all that stuff is out here now. And there's a bunch of painting supplies over here, and my network rack is over here, and so it's just an absolute mess in here. So we're going to be building right here. But yeah, just so we know what we're on clear. The Minecraft movie beat Snow White at box office in just days of release, over 300 million. They could be the first 1 billion box office for a while since Deadpool. You know, it does make sense. Minecraft is such a huge, huge game all over the world, in every country, even in places like China, where generally some things won't be as big there as it would be in the West. Even China loves Minecraft. So it is truly a huge worldwide phenomenon that I feel like kids are going to like, but also adults who played Minecraft as kids is going to like it. So I can imagine they would all enjoy it. So it totally makes sense. RGB, the movie, summer 2026. The epic quest for all the colors. Yeah, Sleepy Mushroom. We'll talk about it. There's a reasoning. That's what I'm saying. It's all kind of a mess. It's not like, that's why it's not in a video, because it's not a PC I would recommend people buy, because it has some choices here and there that are tailored for my cousin, not necessarily for a general audience, right? And so, you know, we'll talk about it. What GPU is in the PC? So it's the specs for the PC are in the video description if you want to go look. Some of them don't match the pictures in the thumbnail because I had to change some stuff around. So the thumbnail, some of the stuff is a little bit different. Jeff Wayne, what's up, man? I just built a new rig for a friend from Spare Parts. I had also 12400F, 32 gigs of RAM, RTX 3060. That's a solid PC, man. That's a great build. You did the floors first. Yes. So we did not do the floors. We had someone do the floors, and I understand where you're coming from. We should have done the walls. We should have painted first, because paint and then just, I get that. But we did not have a choice when the floors were done, and it's not that big a deal. Yeah, it's not that big a deal. But yes, if the whole house was empty, like this was like a brand new house, yeah, absolutely do the walls first. But it's not. We live here. So it just made sense to do the floors first. I will probably see the Minecraft movie soon. Looks like a lot of fun. I agree, Nathan. It does look fun. My current PC is an old workstation laptop with an i7-8850H and a Quadro P1000. It's like a GTX 480. That's nice. Nothing wrong with that. Those are good parts. Yeah, you're working with what you got, which is cool. How long has it been? I wanted to start around the... Does this show how long I've been streaming? How long have I been streaming? Oh, has it been 30 minutes already? Okay, we should get started soon. Okay, so yes, do a quick little build off. And again, I'll be in chat. We're still talking, we're still hanging out, but the visual ASMR will be a little bit different. See you later, Solo Goober. We're doing the build, and like I said, so this build is for my cousin. It's using a bunch of leftover parts that maybe aren't the best customization, but I'll explain them later. And it's a lot of different things. I'm getting an R5 5500 and an RX 6600 build soon. I am building it. Nice. 12 minutes? Oh, okay. That's right. It is. Yeah. Not 12. It's more like 28. It has been like 30. We're talking about 12 minutes. But yeah, so let me see. Will this work? Oh, I think this is going to turn off my music. Boom. Oh, it didn't. Nice. Oh, but y'all can't see my face. Y'all don't need to see my face. Let me move this. Nope, not that one. This one. This can go here. Look at that. We're making it work. I'm still rocking with an FX 6100 6-core, 16 gigs DDR3 with an RTX 650 Ti. Barely works. Yeah, it's getting to be time to upgrade if you have the cash. But yeah, that's definitely needs an upgrade soon. The 650 Ti, wow, it's crazy. Can that even play stuff at 1080? Current PC is a 5500, a 2060, 32 gig DDR4. Nice. Classic. Okay, so let me move this over here. I'm gonna try to stay in frame, but if I forget, please yell at me. I'm using 2 webcams. This one's upside down, so that'll be fun. Let me get my mouse out of here, my phone. Screwdriver can go there. Mouse, I do need the mouse, so I'm gonna put it there. My desk is covered in painting supplies, so I'm like trying to clear the way. I'm not prepared for this. Y'all can't see it, but underneath my face is a bunch of stuff. So let's put that under my face. Yep, right there. Just hide it. There we go. What's this? Plugs. Yo, any handheld people out there? I put Bazite back on my Legion Go, and I am loving it, man. I used a oh crap. I used a thing that like allows me to use a traditional 2280 SSD on my Legion Go. So I just used like a normal sized NVMe SSD on it, and I was able to get it. And you can put Bazite on it, which is basically like SteamOS. Pretty cool. Oh, cool. Many reflections. Let me see. But yeah, it's like very nearly what's it called? It's basically SteamOS. Pretty cool. It's been working pretty well. Drew says, I wish I understood what Bazite it was. Is it just an open source SteamOS? So kind of, yes. So what it is that it is not SteamOS legally because it is SteamOS is owned by Valve. It is a third-party operating system that is 90% identical to SteamOS, but it can be used on other hardware. But it is legally not SteamOS. But the best part is that even though it's not, because I'm on a Legion Go, there's a bunch of buttons here, right? There's a bunch of stuff like that, you know, it does like Legion Go settings. In Bazite OS, those buttons still work. They've created new menus for them so you can access the Legion Go stuff, even though you're not on Windows anymore, because this would not be supported. So Bazite created custom drivers that allow you to access this depending on what device you're on. So if it's a ROG Ally X or even a PC or something, they have all these special drivers that allow it, and it makes the controllers work, and it just makes everything work seamlessly. Because if you put SteamOS on this, there wouldn't be drivers for that. So that's the nice part. So it is a third-party SteamOS, but honestly, if I handed this to you, you would assume it's just SteamOS. It is literally like 95% of the way there. It's pretty cool. I like it a lot, actually. I'll be getting a SteamOS handheld in the future, not my top priority. No problem. Gotta love the LTT screwdriver for scale. Nice of you to promote a small channel like Linus. Okay, look, I'm not trying to promote Linus, I'll admit. But I mean, I do like the screwdriver, I'll admit. I have 2 of them. That's how much I like it. I did buy one at full price. That did happen. And then when I was at LTX, I got one of these for free. So I have 2 of them. But I would pay full price for it. I do like them a lot. This is the one they allowed us to custom make, so I got to like pick the colors and literally put it into the machine and like make it yourself is pretty cool. I like it a lot. See you in a second, Sam. I'm a man of extremes, I guess. Just a phone and desktop usually, but I also own 2 ThinkPads I never use. No problem. Not everyone's into having a bunch of stuff. Sometimes I do think I want the idea of having just my phone and a PC and then using like my phone to remote into it and play games or something. So more of a minimalist that way. I have 2 PCs laying around. One has a 580 and the other has a 1070. Very nice. Okay, so like I said for this build, hold on. See, it's gonna be a little bit different. So this is from my cousin. Let me get rid of this. He needs a computer, and he needs it to be cheap. And he said, make it cheap. If you can't, use what you have. And I do have some parts on hand from previous builds or from just different things, like a company gave it to me, maybe something like that. That's how it works. So this computer is not going to be the best price to performance. This is not going to be the perfect pairing, right? This is kind of going off of cheap, but it's going to work good. This is the H610M. So if you're familiar, this is going to fit the... Oh, I got to stop that shaking. Anytime I touch the desk, the camera shakes. This is the H610M, which handles the LGA 1700 chipset. So this is going to be things like a 12th gen, 13th gen, and 14th gen Intel using DDR4 RAM. It is the H610, so this is like the cheapest chipset you can get. So unless you're running very lower end hardware, if you can afford it, don't get the H610M. Get something better. But like I said, we had this on hand, so it's going in. It's not bad. It's not going to break. It's just that the upgradability isn't quite there mostly because of like VRM cooling. You're not going to want to put something else higher in this later on down the road because it's just not going to perform as well. But it itself is not a bad motherboard. And I don't think they're going to be doing that. I don't think they're going to be upgrading this machine. I don't need the SATA. Oh, but I do need the IO shield. So this is going to basically either be kept this way or it's going to be sold later on. So we'll see. I'm not going to do everything backwards because my camera's upside down. Hey, Jason. What's up, Mirage? Besides the GPU for today's build, are you stocking up on parts after these crazy tariffs? No, I'm not. I'm not stacking up on parts. I probably should, considering I'm a content creator and I will need the parts. Frankly, I don't like to do that because what that would mean is that I'm taking the parts away from people who would actually use it. And so that is basically the equivalent of like buying toilet paper before a storm and buying out like 100. You know what I mean? So like technically it would be a good idea, but I just don't want to add to the fire, right? Just so it can sit on my shelf just in case, you know what I mean? So I don't really build that often. Crap. I don't build stuff that often that's too expensive. So I'm not too worried about it. A lot of what I do is used. And the problem is that my builds need to be indicative of what the market price is. So if I said, here's a $500 gaming PC that I built or I bought the parts 3 months ago. If you want to buy it now, it's now $1,000. I don't think that would go over well. You know what I mean? Like people would be very, very upset. But if I say, here's a $1,000 PC I built yesterday, don't buy it, I think that would actually go over better. Just to show people like what's available, because my stuff has to be current. Like it has to be up to date. It can't be, I built this a year ago, the prices aren't relevant anymore. But it would be a better way to do it the way you're talking about. Yeah. But I'm trying not to do that. Yeah, but have you ever made a throne of toilet paper? No, I don't like hoarding. I don't go buy and buy 100 toilet papers or 100 water things. I'll maybe buy one, right? I'm not going to fill my cart with it. I'll just get mine and I'll be good with that. What are my top 2 favorite PC handhelds? the Steam Deck OLED and the Legion Go, because Steam Deck OLED is the best all-arounder. Legion Go is the only one that had any kind of innovation lately. A T570 ThinkPad for 160, that's pretty good. Gotta love the Asus Prime boards, great value. I do like Asus Prime, actually. I like them a lot. Hoarding all the GT 1030. I have way too many PCs right now. I need to consolidate my parts and fix a few and possibly flip them. Yeah, now might be the time. Prices are gonna go up. Yeah, they're gonna go up. Maybe wait a week. I don't know. Maybe people will get tariff crazy and buy your parts for more than they're worth. Hopefully it comes back, but we'll see. For this build, we need some RAM. We've got 16 gigs, DDR4 RAM, Silicon power. I think these are clocked at 3200. These are fine. One thing you notice is that these don't have a heatsink on them. That's fine. Heatsink for RAM like this generally isn't going to be an issue as long as you have active cooling in the machine, like from other fans. And especially these aren't like the highest speed RAM ever. So I have ran these before. They were very cheap. This is like $22 on Amazon. It's crazy. So I do like them, but they don't have a heatsink. But again, I mean, has anyone had RAM overheat that is this speed? And if you did, the case that you're building in has bad airflow, because I didn't even know that was possible. Okay. Pop those bad boys in. Nice. We've got our RAM. Okay. So, like I said, this is for my cousin. Hold on, I need a drink. I am parched. Okay. Like I said, this is for my cousin. So at this price range, generally we'll do like half a terabyte. It's just cheaper. But he wanted a full terabyte because he just wants more games on it. So totally fair. So I had a 1 terabyte. Let's see if it focuses. Very nice. 1 terabyte NV2. It's a PCIe 4.0 SSD. Not the best SSD in the world. I think it's DRAM-less. I think. Not the fastest, anything like that. It's so affordable. But I did buy this a long time ago for a really good price. And again, he said I didn't want me to buy anything. So in it goes. And this is not going to be a crazy fast workstation PC. This is not going to be anything like that. So it is strictly for gaming. And I think the SSD screw is in the box still. Reload this. There we go. Bro, everything was overheating back when I had the H500. Exactly. See, if you have a case that is like poor airflow, yes, you will have some overheating. But in a modern case, I don't know. I just feel like it's rare. I got a question. What should I do to test a PSU? I'm going to buy a PC when I get the money, and it's from AliExpress, so I don't know if it will explode. I looked it up, and it works, but I don't trust it. Unfortunately, there's no real good way for you to test a PSU. The tools to do that are expensive. All you can do is rely on reviews. My recommendation is, if you haven't bought a PSU from AliExpress, don't. And if you already have, just be well aware of its limits. PSUs generally fail the most when they are pushed past their breaking point. So if you have a 400 watt power supply and you try to pump it full of 500 watts, obviously there's going to be some spillover, but it's like, that's when you're going to have issues. So just make sure your components are within spec of what you need in your power requirements. Otherwise you will have issues. Probably not going to explode, but will probably break the power supply or cause shutdowns and stuff like that. So that's my 2 cents. PCIe 4 drive in. $512 gig for Call of Duty. I think they're mostly going to be playing Helldivers on this. They play a lot of Helldivers, apparently. Like, that's like the main thing they've been playing since it came out. Oops, I got to put in this standoff. Mirage says, I get it. Flip PCs usually between 450 and 750, and I always get good value and try to hook up students and professionals. Bought 2 RTX 2070s for 150 each and a 3060 for 180. Nice, those are good prices. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't like the idea of hoarding. I don't like having stuff, right? I don't like having too much stuff. I'm always trying to clean out my life and clean out all the crap in my house and my home. And so like if I have extra computer stuff, even if I know I'm going to use it in the future for a video, if that video is not within like the next 2 months, maybe 3, I would rather just get rid of it and then rebuy it if I have to. Now, if I know it's going to be for a video coming up and I know there might be tariffs in the way, and it might be a product that's hard to get, maybe I'll keep it. But I personally try not to do that. But I understand where you're coming from, yeah. Especially as a content creator. Probably a good idea to do that sometimes. I asked a question that you answered on Discord about the 12700K that runs at full load for $50. You said it's worth buying. Hold on. You said it's worth buying for the chance. The last question I need to ask is, if I don't have a motherboard or RAM to try it, is it worth investing in those parts when it is not 100% that it works? Hard to say, Dylan. Again, only invest the money that you're okay with losing, because look, if you buy a motherboard and RAM and that CPU breaks, or let's say the CPU is bunk, you cannot get it to work for whatever reason, what are you going to do with the motherboard and RAM? Right? Are you going to just sit around? If you're going to have it sit around, maybe it's not worth it. But you can't test the CPU without a motherboard and RAM. So if I was you in that situation, I would buy the motherboard and RAM and the power supply to test it. And then at that point, if the CPU works okay, I would build out the rest of the computer. If it doesn't work okay, I would return the motherboard, RAM, and power supply. Or if you want, you could buy another CPU and then build out a whole computer to sell if you want to go that route. Yeah, I mean, you can always do that. Both of those would be fine options. Or because you don't want to just sit on it. You don't want to sit on RAM and a motherboard that you're never going to use. You can try to resell them afterwards, or you can resell the CPU to someone. Like if you bought it for 50, maybe someone else will buy it for 50, you know. Also got 2 i5 9400Fs plus H310 combos for $62 each. Nice. You don't see much of the 9400F these days. Is the Kingston on the M2 the Sean Kingston, prolific singer of the song Beautiful Girls? I think it is. Surely, right? Can my Jamaican friends in the chat confirm that? Is Kingston the Taiwanese brand of SSDs? Does that mean Sean Kingston, the prolific singer? I think you're right, Drew. Why don't people put games on external drives? I mean, can we not wait the extra 10-second load time? We can, and sometimes people do. On a Legion Go and Steam Deck, you put it on an on an SD card, which would be considered external storage. The problem is that most external storage is ran through USB, and USB is highly unreliable for consistent read-write speeds. So if you're loading a game, any kind of hitches in that USB transfer rate would be really bad for the game and not fun. So it's not just about the initial load speed, it's mostly over the USB. Although we do have USB-C high-speed storage now and like external SSDs that would probably help that a lot. But if there's even a single kink in the USB chain, it's not going to be a good experience. But you could. It's just not great. My friend yelled at me for telling him to get an SSD. So yeah, people do. Oh my gosh. Nope, the spelling is correct, but they have nothing in common, sadly. Thank you, Sam. Our resident Jamaican told us, yes. Sorry, Drew. This is not for Sean Kingston. Let's see. Even SATA SSDs are fine for games now, so a slower NVMe is plenty. Yeah, that's how I agree, yes. That's why I'm like, you know what? It's fine. People will complain about this. This is just for gaming. It really doesn't matter. It's an SSD. Come on, man. I got a $103 EVGA 2070. That's a great deal. EVGA 2070 Super for 125 shipped on Reddit. Nice. The tariffs are going to give budget build videos a lot of interest, in my opinion. People are going to be looking for those sub $600 builds. I agree. I think we're going to see if the tariffs last for a long time, which I don't think they will, I think we're going to see a big influx of people looking to build budget PCs, mostly in the US. But yeah, the same thing happened during COVID. There was like a huge push for cheaper PCs for like 2 years there. So maybe it's going to be good for my business. You know, we'll see. Okay, CPU. This is the i5 12600KF. This is a bit overkill for what we need, but I'll tell you why. So this was a refurbished one I got on Newegg for $100. Okay, and I'm okay with that. I think that's a good price for what it is, considering the next cheapest one would be like a 12400F, which would be more of like a more accurate pairing. But this bad boy can actually handle anything. This is a this to me is the best price to performance CPU you can get. In DDR4. DDR5 probably 7500F, but in DDR4, I think, let's see. I gotta flip it. The 12600KF, if you can get it on a good deal, will it focus? It really wants to, but I think the lights won't let you see it. Like that. There, almost. One more try. I think it's the reflections. The 12600KF can honestly run most high-end GPUs. It would have no problem with it. I'd say maybe up till the 5090. I wouldn't run a 5090 on it, but everything else, it would be just fine. Focus? 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 Kind of. Yeah, 12600KF. So it's a great CPU. I think for the price, that is crazy. How much power you're getting here. What is this? 8 core, 6 core, 12 thread? Really great CPU. And it's about the limit that I would put in this motherboard. We're not going to see any bottlenecks, but this is way more stronger than the GPU we're putting in it. So if they want to upgrade the GPU down the line, which I don't think they would, they could. And this will just give them the headroom to do that. And if they're mostly playing Helldivers, I think having a little bit extra CPU power would be pretty helpful. Running Rivals on my potato PC. It takes a good minute to load, so I go to make a sandwich. Oh my gosh. My vote for Robert sandwich is PB&J. I have not had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich in many a year. I take that back. I've had an Uncrustable a few times, so I guess that does count. 12600KF is 10 core, 16 thread. Okay, yeah. With the fake cores, they're not fake cores, silly goober. They're performance cores. So yeah, 10 core. Wow, great CPU for $100. Oh my gosh, if you're running DDR4, that's great. I play the finals on my laptop at 35 to 50 FPS, and I've gotten way too used to it to where it feels smooth. Exactly. I don't know how you play the finals at that. I played the finals at like 40 FPS, and it's playable for sure. It's better than not playing, right? But it's like when you go back and you play at like 120 FPS, it's like, man, this is tough. You'll get spoiled real good, silly goober. If you play on a computer that can play it much better, it's going to be hard to go back. Speaking of Marvel Rivals, Season 2 looks really gone. Emma Frost is begging for some. Please don't sexualize Emma Frost in my chat. I already have to hear enough of that in my friend Discord. But yeah, they seem to be liking Season 2. A new set of Teamfight Tactics just came out, and I've been playing that, and that's been really fun. And I'm actually winning sometimes. Okay. We've got, wow, already 4 components. Motherboard, CPU, SSD, RAM. Man, we're halfway done. So we need a cooler. This CPU does not need a fancy cooler. It does not. So tried and true. SE214XT. If you notice, this is not the cooler that I had in the thumbnail. I was going to use a Zalman cooler, but when I went to go check that box, it was actually missing all of the mounting hardware because I had used it in a previous video, and I don't know what happened to it. I think I put it somewhere else. So I had to order this last minute. So this is what's going in. But that Zalman cooler would be just as good, no problem. I've never heard of a efficiency score being referred to as fake cores. LOL, I love it. It's not fake cores, man. It's just complicated, okay? Because you guys just game. I have to use FSR performance and it looks like hot garbage. Yeah, it's tough. Let's get all my stuff out of the box so I can get rid of the box. I love these ID cooling coolers, man. These are like 15 bucks sometimes. Generally they hover around 18. When did CPU coolers get so affordable? You know, it's awesome. Jason, no Diddy, but if Ultron has a Giat and is shiny up, you telling me you ain't wondering what's up? I know Noab would be infiltrating the systems. I think Silly Goober has my same thought. The brain rot is strong with you, Sam. Is Ultron one of the new characters? I had no idea. I only knew about Emma Frost. But yes, if Ultron does have a Giat and he is shiny up, yes, I will be wondering what's up. And I'll infiltrate the system. Let's dump it. I hate installing CPU coolers. This is my least favorite part of PC building. It's 100 times better than installing an AIO, like a water cooler, but it's still annoying. So let's get these stickers off so I can stick the back plate on. Come on. Cool. Flip it over. Feed it through the holes. This is always so difficult. Come on. Stick. Oh, I think I have to pull these back. Or forward. No, back. Yeah, because these are adjustable. Is that it? Yeah. LGA 1700 is a little bit bigger. Okay. Oh, gotta flip it around. Give y'all the best view. Stupid back plates. I know it's still better than an AIO, but yeah, it's still annoying. Guys, remember to pull off the sticker. My goodness, I'm glad they put red tabs on it. It makes it harder to forget. Jason, no Diddy, but if Ultron had a level 5 Gyat and some Draco bling, you telling me you ain't edging over what's the skibbity? I bet no, I would be goon in the mainframe. Thank you, Mirage, using the brain rot translator. He said, it's not brain rot, I'm just being honest. Anyone who says the term Gyat in actual conversation is brain rot. I don't care what you say. Skibbity Ohio Riz. Yeah, I do have that Skibbity Ohio Riz. A custom loot is the easiest to install? No way. Until CPU coolers are a hassle. It is kind of easier on Ryzen. If someone speaks brain rot to me, I ain't answering unless they speak legit English with no brain rot. You're gonna have a hard time, Blind Tech. You're still young, man. I learned a lot of new terms that are not brain rot, but they are all kind of like... So there's a difference between brain rot and between like young person terminology. I heard someone say that it's on site. All right. Does anyone know without Googling it what on site means? Like they said, yeah, it's on site. Okay. This was a new term to me that I learned a few weeks ago. Is it red or is it gray for 1700? We'll try red. Wait, I think it's gray. How is that brain rot? It's a general question. I don't know if we'll get banned for saying fat ass. That's true. I think you're erring on the side of good. Fat is not brain rot. I love using brain rot to talk to my middle school age kid. It drives her crazy. I can imagine that, dude. My niece just turned 18, and I think she's a bit above all that kind of stuff. And I think she sees how silly it can be sometimes. Let me get this in the middle of the frame for y'all. My bad. Sorry, guys. Does it go like that or in? Surely it must be in, yeah, because this is going to hit the RAM. I refuse to read the manual, so I will assume that this is the screw. I'm unironically using On God around my kids. I bet they love that. Mr. C&D, next time, just tell them for real, no cap. They'll enjoy that a lot. On site means as soon as I see you or immediately. Yes, kind of. So somebody, but it usually means like, Dylan, you're old. What are you doing? You Googled that. There's no way you knew that. I just learned it. Oh no, this is not right. Hold on. But it means violence, right? So it means as soon as I see you or immediately, I will be fighting you. So if I see you immediately on site, I will attack. And I'm like, that is insane. That's like an actual threat. This is next level young person term. And they it was a girl saying it, and she was also referring to the girl as Miss Girl, saying like, okay, Miss Girl, like, all right, whatever you say, Miss Girl, like as if it's like an insult. I thought that was pretty funny. Okay, Miss Girl. And then I started saying, all right, Mr. Man. I hope this is the way to do it, because if I have to take it off, I'm going to scream. Yeah, the Emma Frost reaction videos are wild, the comments people make. Yeah, I saw our resident gooner say that they added jiggle physics to her thighs. And I'm like, man, just play the game. Just play the game. That's what I like to hear, Mr. C&D. On God. I stopped trying to learn new slang when the dab came about. It's like 10 years ago to Rad Robot. I'll probably have to stop playing Rivals when Frost comes out because it will all be lonely teens playing. Dude, free kills then. Oh, that thing's off the thing. Here we go. Here? There we go. What take it off and scream? Jason, be careful. I'm not sure if Noah's looking around. Noab is always around, guys. Bro is obsessed with me. You guys have no idea. He lurks my personal Discord. He's always messaging me stuff, like trying to look at my Giat, you know what I mean? All right. Oh, I hate coolers. I have a middle school daughter. I unfortunately know way too much about this, but yes, I did. Nice. Does your daughter, Dylan, ever say Miss Girl? Have you heard her say that? I don't know if you're in America or not. Okay, so this was right. Cool. Okay, we need to get the thermal paste on. And yes, I could use some third-party thermal paste, but this is just as good. Truly, I've done tests. Unless you're running a 9950 X3D, The paste that comes with it is good enough, guys. Don't overthink it. I've seen so many posts online and people asking me like, which thermal paste do I get? I'm like, dude, don't worry so much about it. People worry a lot. They worry a lot that they're gonna mess something up or that the insignificant things are the significant things. Don't worry so much. I don't know if you'll see. I say that a lot in my video. I'm like, dude, just relax. Like, it's okay. Life will go on. You're losing 1 FPS. It's okay. Your computer will not burn up and die. It's gonna be okay. All right. Let's get this on. Equal pressure, right? Best practice. A few turns on each side. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. A little bit here, a little bit there. Nice. Sue Storm already has a ton of cake videos. The Lonely Teens are already there. Poor Emma Frost. But I think the game developers knew what they were doing, so it is what it is. I'm old AF, so I'm out of the loop on modern slang. That's okay. I'm also out of it. I don't know. I just hear it from people sometimes. That's why I liked On Site. I thought it was funny. Okay, Miss Girl. Arctic MX4 for life. I have some here. I do have some third-party ones just because, you know, sometimes I change CPU coolers. So you should have some on hand if you want to ever repair your computer or like swap out stuff. But people take it, I don't know, they like spending a lot of money on stuff that doesn't matter. Is it better? Yeah. I will say for a fact that Arctic thermal paste is better than the one built in. But is it worth spending money for 1% or like 1 degree? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Are people really worried about breaking their PC or just getting made fun of online? I don't know. I think it could be both. A lot of people are really worried about heat, I've learned. People think their stuff will overheat a lot. And they're really, truly worried about that. I get that a lot. Like, they think, they're like, I put my hand on the back of the PC and the air is very hot. And I'm like, yeah, it's creating power. It has to exude heat. The fact that it's coming out is good. But they're like, but it feels like really hot. And I'm like, well, what are your temperatures? And they'll tell me the temperatures and they're fine. And I'm like, no, it's hot to the human skin. But in terms of electronics, it can handle those temperatures. Like, they're designed for it. Like, don't think too much about it. But I feel it and it feels very hot. And then they'll buy some contraptions to cool it down and nothing changes and they just wasted money. They do a lot for their handhelds too, which annoys me. Okay. Our cooler is on. Let's see, can we get a better look at it? Oh yeah. Get that spin drip. Did y'all see that Giot? I like saying Giot instead of Giot because it reminds me of guitar. That reminds me, where do you order KPX? I want some. Is KPX a type of thermal paste? I'm going to make a video where I mix all the remnants together just to be funny. Yeah, I'm not sure. I know the Arctic one. I know the Corsair one. I know Thermal Grizzly, and that's about it. Danny got his briefcase PC ready. How many subs for an OnlyFans? I'm not doing that. It cracks me up when my students refer to our vice principals as the ops. That's awesome. That's really funny. Ops are coming. Do they ever say, man, you're doing too much? No, she doesn't say Miss Girl. Might be regional. My daughter says Miss Girl's old slang. Yeah, I will say your daughter is in middle school. I heard it from like a 24-year-old. So it might be someone that are using old slang. So your daughter might be on top of it, and this person's using old slang. And here I am getting Kingpin KPX because Jay's 2 cents told me to. That's okay. If you want to do it, do it. There's nothing wrong with spending a little extra money on your hobby. It's the people who are like like they're worried they're going to break something. They're worried, they're overthinking it. Like they're spending more time than the product is actually worth. You know what I mean? And I think people should worry less. Like, I'm worried about overheating. I'm worried about things breaking. I'm like, dude, it's fine. Don't worry so much. Just play your games. Yup, I hear you're doing too much all the time. That's awesome. They don't know the days of bulldozers and R9s in cases with 2 fans and little airflow. Yeah, that's true. Things have changed a lot. That doesn't we are in what I would call the airflow era, where because of people like Gamers Nexus and also because of bad cases like the that NZXT one, the H500, that was like a hot box, but it made having a front, like no air coming out the front, very popular for a while. We overcorrected into the airflow era where now everything has to be all airflow all the time. You know, aesthetics be damned, all that stuff. And we've kind of moved into the Lian Li 011 clones, which we have 2 glass panels, one on the front, one on the side. We're also doing that. So it's either 011 clone or it's airflow all the time, which is better. I mean, we do need airflow, but I think people take it too much. Worrying about heat is not even on the 10 most important things to worry about for your PC. One thing to worry about is if you're updating BIOS and your power goes out. That's heartbreaking. Yeah, that would be. That would be horrible. Why do people have LCD AIO temperature readouts? I mean, are you staring at it? I don't think they're staring at it. I think it gives them peace of mind because people who they're just worried stuff is going to overheat, man. Like that peace of mind. I don't know. Like they think if I'm not looking at like how much temperature I'm getting, it's overheating. And so I think they want to be aware of it. And I don't know. I would rather have it on my computer. I don't mind having that, but like having it on my AIO, where am I going to look over occasionally and like, oh, it's overheating. It's overheating. I do know a lot of RGB manufacturers like Corsair, you can change your lights depending on the temperature of your PC. So like if your computer starts getting in the danger zone, all of your lights will flash red if you change it to that, which is it's pretty cool. I will say, like, having that kind of alarm system I think is cool, but having like the temperature on like a screen or on like an AIO, it's a little too much for me considering I don't even have my computer like right next to me. But again, to each his own. Like some people like that and I respect that, but it's just not for me. Okay. So we got this. What do we need next? We need the case, the power supply, the fans. Oh, the fans are already in there. Awesome. I thought I was going to have to install some. Let me see. They ain't it, Chief. Yeah, that's true. Let me move this out of the way. We got to do the case for a little bit. Okay. So the case I actually used in a, oh my god. I think I used this in a previous video and it's been sitting around because it actually, is this the one? Yeah, it actually broke. So the case is very dirty because like I said, we recently got our floors redone. Hold on. Ugh. It's very dirty. So I'm going to blow it out. But it actually broke because the bottom got slammed. So usually on this one, this is the MSI, I think this is the 111R. It usually has giant feet attached to the bottom. And so it like comes out here and it comes out here, and that allows more airflow to go into here because it like this just brings up the PC a little bit. Those broke. They just tore off completely, smashed. And luckily there was no computer in it when that happened, but they are gone. And I don't know if there's any remnants left. And so the case still works, obviously. It's just a normal case now. And I had it lying around. I can't sell it, and I couldn't. I don't want to give away a broken case to someone. It'd be too heavy to ship too. So I've just been waiting for a good opportunity to use it. And guys, I think today is that day. It has 4 RGB fans. Oh, let me see if I can pull it around. My desk is not indicative of this. It's got 4 RGB fans in the front. You see that? Oh no, sorry. 3 in the front, 1 in the exhaust, and it has a built-in fan hub, so that'll work pretty good. Let me move this around. Is it wobbly? No, it's totally flat. That's what I'm saying. Without the feet, it is just a flat thing. And that's why if you see this grate looks kind of funny at the bottom, that's because there's usually feet. And so usually these grates on the bottom are usually supposed to be a little bit more closed off because they're touching just ground, right? But with the feet gone, it kind of just goes through there. I have tested it since then. It's okay. It's not going to hurt anything. And I think it's perfect for what we're using Fear for. You can 3D print some feet, I know, but it's not really necessary. It's totally not necessary. This is, knowing my cousin, it's better that it doesn't have the feet because the feet would have broken anyway. So this is actually probably going to be a load off his shoulder, to be honest. So don't even need the feet. It is missing these guys in the back because I used them before. I think I have some replacements to put here for him. If I don't, it's not the end of the world. Like I said, he is okay with it being ugly. He's okay with using some used stuff. Let's get this in this right there. So either way, he's going to be okay with it. He doesn't mind. I'm okay. Yes, Dylan's got it. It's a favor build. He won't mind. Pretty much. That's pretty much how we're going. Where's the piece you're going to get the fresh air? So there is, I know it looks like the feet are gone on the bottom. There is still a gap. It's just like the same gap you see on most computers on the bottom. Because the feet were really long, and so now they're just really short. But there is still fresh air from the power supply, yeah. It's just a little bit smaller, but it really truly does not matter. Need a heart rate monitor for when Emma Frost appears on screen? Oh my gosh. All right, just finished washing the dishes, so now you have ops? Is it wobbly? No, not at all. It's not wobbly at all. Like I said, the feet were so taken clear off that it has resorted back to a normal PC case. It's just a flat bottom, no wobbly, no feet, no problem. It's just a normal case now. And honestly, if I didn't tell anyone that they used to have feet, no one would be able to know. It truly is just fine. Opinions on the Thermaltake Core P series cases. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that is. I'd have to double check. Are those the colorful ones? Like the ones that are like, it looks like you're looking at like a test tube or something? 3 intake and 1 exhaust means it's positive pressure anyway. Exactly. Not an issue. Right at Robot's got it. Okay. What are we thinking? Should I do the motherboard first or the PSU first? I'm thinking motherboard. Cushy TV, what's up, man? Jeff Wayne says, I got myself some pajamas with pockets in them, which is great because I used to have to hold things while I slept. Isn't that so annoying when you have to hold your wallet while you're sleeping? Ugh. Thank God for pockets. And you can, Jeff, you can hide so many snacks in there. You're going to bed, you can just put in snacks. That's so cool for you. Those are the open air cases with only the side glass and no front, top, or back panel. Oh, those. The ones that go on the wall. They're okay. They're cool. I think, I don't know. It's so, like, not variable. The fact that it can only be on the wall is frustrating to me. I think if it was the type of case where it's like you can put it on the wall or on the floor, I would prefer that. But the fact that you're pigeonholed into just doing one thing, you can't move it at all. It's like your computer's staying right there, right? It's okay. You said you were going to rehaul the Discord. Any spoilers for what you have in store? So, for those of y'all who don't know, there is a Discord. It originally only existed to take in, what's it called? Stream submissions for roasting your setups a few weeks ago. And some people have expressed interest in turning it into like a real Discord. So I might do that. It's still going to be toned down. I'm still not going to like promote it too much. It's mostly going to be for you guys. And so we'll have a small little community of people who want to hang out in there. And what I just mean by rehaul it, I mostly mean I'm going to add some channels and I'm actually going to have some kind of coordination in there. But nothing too crazy. Here, I'll drop an invite if anybody wants it. It's really nothing right now, but Here, if you want to join Discord, wait, that's not it. I need to turn off invite people. Here, if y'all want to join the Discord, feel free to. But again, there's not much there. Oh, wait, the Discord is staying. Yes. Don't expect too much. I'm telling you, don't. I honestly, I don't want a Discord with 1,000 people in it. Like, honestly, I just don't. I don't think that's fun. Don't tone it down. I need all the Jason where I can get. I appreciate that. I really do. I appreciate the support. I think the more people you have in a Discord server is worse. I truly believe that. Have you been in those servers with thousands and thousands of people? And it's just, I don't know. It's just too much, man. So I'd like to keep it small. I'm not going to advertise it during videos, probably just the stream. So it'll mostly be for you guys who are in here for, it's like kind of on the down low. So I'm going to update it soon. I'm going to add some channels. We'll get some roles going, but nothing too crazy. So temper your expectations. It's just, yeah, Dylan's got it. Chaos. Those huge channels are chaos. I want a small community of people where we can actually have conversations with each other and not just be like Twitch chat. You know what I mean? ZTT's Discord gets crazy. Yeah. Gets diluted. Yeah. That's how I feel. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? It's I get it. You are trying to build a big community. And it's, think of it, compare it to like this chat where I'm actually able to talk to y'all, and watching someone with 30,000 viewers where the chat just goes and you can't see, you can't talk to anyone, and it's just nonsense, right? I prefer this. Even at the expense of growth, I would rather have this, okay? And this is what I prefer. So, and I hope you guys do too. He is for everyone, not you alone. You and Tech Hustle doing $500 builds? Oh yeah, he did do one, huh? I guess so. I have not. That's just a coincidence. Even Nove's live stream is starting to get crazy, but I love the guy. Yeah, his is, it goes ups and downs. But he averages like 150 viewers. And you can see even that is chaotic, man. It is crazy. I don't know if I can handle that many people, to be honest. And it's just a different experience having that many viewers. Oops, missed the star stream. You're good, Hayden. You are good. We're just chilling. I got banned from ZTT for having Vencord. What is Vencord? I never even heard of that. I built a PC last night and cut my finger with that IO shield. Oh my gosh. Careful, dude. Noab gonna be applying for the oiled up warrior role. Gonna need my bat soon. Yeah, he would. Okay. Let's get this motherboard in. Should I move this down? Yeah, there we go. It's hard doing it at this angle. I'm trying to like make sure y'all can see. Hold on. Wait, I didn't even check the standoffs. Crap. Are the standoffs the same? Yeah, we're good. We're good. We are good. We're good. Okay. Now I don't have screws. My screw box. I'm glad I had this nearby. Because like I said, this is an old case, so I don't have the screws. So I got to reach into my box of goodies and grab some motherboard screws. Are these them? No. Let's see. Motherboard screws. Let me pull some out. Maybe I'll mix in some silvers in there. That'll be fun. That should be good. Is this a mini ITX motherboard? No, this is a micro ATX. It just looks small. If it was mini, it would stop like right here, right below this PCIe slot. All right. I think I got to stand up for this, guys. So you'll have to look at my shirt. Sorry. Give me a second. Oh, wrong screw. Wait, are any of these motherboard screws? No. Dang it. It's too dark in here. Hold on. I need some screws. AliExpress sent me a defective 5700X. Had to go back to a 3600, but surprisingly, it doesn't bottleneck a 6800 at 1440p. That makes sense. CPUs are much stronger than I think people give them credit for gaming. You know what I mean? I'm sure they refunded your 5600F, right? I usually skip this part. Okay, hold on. My screws are all mixed up, man. I need motherboard. I just need the black ones. Always keep your screws, guys. And organize your screws. This is a mess. This is my fault. I think I'm only gonna do 4 screws for now, and then I'll do more later. Jason's gonna show us his feet next. I hope not, man. I am not wearing socks. I'm not trying to give out these dogs for free. You know what I mean? Don't sexualize the Jason. Okay, we got it in. Only using 4 screws right now. I will go in later and do the rest. I believe my Ryzen 5 3600, 6800, 32 grams, 4 terabyte system still has many years of gaming left. Yeah, absolutely. That's a great system, man. If I posted on Feed Finder, people would pay for me to take it down. I have a Gigabyte A320 that may work, but didn't with an R5 2600. Is it worth buying a first-gen chip to see? It was free. I don't think so. I think the A320 would have already had updated BIOS. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure A320 isn't that like those worked already with the R5 2600. I think so. Maybe. Why is everyone sexualizing Jason tonight? Yeah, you guys keep talking about my Giat, my dogs, my puppers. I feel very... Everyone's so horny tonight, guys. Why are y'all so horny? Whoa, look at that shot. Look at that. We gotta get the power supply in, guys. So, again, I've been tasked to create a computer using old parts. So I'm using a Thermaltake 500 watt. Let's do this. Smart 500 watt. Not the best power supply, but if you literally only have enough to buy it, it's fine. If you have $10 more, buy a better one. That's how I feel. But I had this on hand, and he said he was cool with it. Wait a second. how do I slide this in? Oh, it's backwards. Oops. Casey Wallace says, bomb! Oh, wait, I need screws for this too, man. Come on. The PSU everyone loves to hate. Yep. Everyone loves to hate it because it's everywhere, because it's so widely available on Amazon. I know, people don't like it. I like it. I use it all the time. I haven't had any issues with it. It's just fun. Just don't use a graphics card that is super powerful, and you should be fine. Thermal Take has been in the PSU game for decades. Yeah, dude. Didn't you do a video talking to Ostock's hardware about this PSU? Yes. Nice call out, Dylan. There was an old video from like, I think a year and a half ago. It's been a while, where I used it in one of my videos. And man, y'all might not be able to see this. Sorry. I used the 500 watt thermal take in one of my videos, and I've used it a few times. And the previous time I used it, I got a lot of flack. People, like you said, people love to hate it, saying like, I can't believe you're recommending that. Even a couple like a couple creators, like smaller creators, but like they were bigger than I was at that time. They even came out and said, man, you shouldn't be using that. You should be recommending something better. But you all have to remember, it was a $200 PC video. This thing is 25% of our budget already. So telling people to like, hey, your $200 PC, you should go buy a power supply, a better power supply. It's like, dude, like there's nothing else. This is it. Like there are cheaper power supplies. They're all worse. That's just how it is. This is the best at this price range, unfortunately. And I asked, and then Ozzy, like a week later, he made a video that was like $400. It was a $400 PC build. He used the same power supply. I read through hundreds of comments because he's a much bigger creator than I. Not one person said anything. They didn't say, oh, that's a bomb. You shouldn't use that power supply. They just let him get away with it. And I told him about that. I'm like, dude, this is not fair. Your audience loves you so much that they're just going to let you do whatever you want. And so I said, can we do a little thing where I call you and we talk about it? And his take on it was basically like, what else are you supposed to use at that price range? Like, there's nothing else. It's fine. That was kind of his take on it. And I agree with that. And we did a little joke at the end where he hangs up on me that I thought was pretty funny. To be fair, you told people that you didn't recommend that build. It was just for content. Yes, exactly. That's also something. All of the $200 PCs, I generally don't recommend. I say, hey, this is just for fun. I'm not telling you to build this. I'm just telling you, like, I'm just showing you that I'm building it, right? Like, there's a big difference. That doesn't necessarily mean that you can't build it, because some people, they can't afford anything better. And so I don't want to tell those people, no, you don't get to have a computer because you can't afford it, right? But I'm also not going to say, hey, this is the one you should build. You know what I mean? The RS game AGV 500 watt was $35 on Amazon a couple days ago. The all black cables look better than the smart PSUs. AGV is tier F, avoid at all costs, just like this PSU. They're all the same, I guess. I haven't tried the RS games one, so I don't know. Mirage, the PSU tier list is elitist nonsense. I wouldn't go that far. So here it is. The PSU tier list is not elitist nonsense. The people who reference the tier list are elitist nonsense. Okay, that is true. I will say the tier list is all kind of subjective based on some objective points, some talking points, right? So there is some truth in it. But the problem is that people use the tier list as like gospel, meaning it never changes. It is 100% true. You should listen to it at all costs. And if you don't, you're stupid. PC Builder says it'll burn your house down. That is not a good take, man. You shouldn't be telling people that. How many power supplies have y'all seen that have burned down houses? Honestly. Has it happened? Yeah, absolutely. I guarantee it's happened. But honestly, how often does it happen? It is not very often. It's very incredibly rare. So I don't like saying that because I feel like it is so... We're just talking about computers, man. Like, relax, okay? I would use a Thermaltake Smart over something like an Eras game any day. Thermaltake Smart White, my goat. I like the Thermaltake Smart. I have not used the Eris game, so I can't say for sure. I don't know anything about it, to be honest. I just know that I've used the Thermaltake White a lot. I've sold computers to people like this. I've given them to my friends. You know, they're still using it years later. Someone was running a 3070 on it for a long time. No problem. Like, you know, it's fine. Yeah, I get used PSUs that are much better for cheaper. You could also do that. I've undervolted a 3060 Ti with a 5600, and I gaming the system was only pulling 180 watt with 100% GPU utilization. Yeah, a lot of GPUs don't take that much power. Honestly, I could listen to Ostalk's hardware read a phone book. He has a great speaking voice, and his vids are so chill. Dude, everyone loves Ozzy. He could do anything. He could go to Times Square and shoot a man in the chest, and people would be like, "My king." Who was looking at your PSU anyway? Yeah, exactly. PC bros use these in their retail PCs as well. Oh, really? Okay. I've had a single PSU go bad and smoke a little in 15-ish years of PCs and lots of PCs in that time scale. That's generally what you're going to get. Most of the time, your PSU is just going to die and it's not going to turn on anymore. That is like 90% of what's going to happen. Next case, you might have a little of the white smoke. You might hear a pop from a capacitor going, and you're going to get some white smoke, and that's about the next thing. That's like the next 9%. The small 1% is that there might be more than that. There might be a lot of white smoke, and there might be a little spark from a capacitor blowing or something else that does create flame. But like, you have to push the PSU so far past its limit that they already have protections against that. It just is so incredibly rare. Like, really, I'm not telling you to go out and buy this. If you have the extra $10, buy it, but don't put in the comments section that it's gonna blow up your house. that gets me every time. See, me pulling 243 watts on the guy overclocking 980 Ti to the edge, and I did not die. Yeah, I've even had B+ tier PSUs just randomly die. It does happen. Yeah, my nephew had a high power HP one, and it died, but didn't take any of its components though. Yeah, usually they just die. And 80 plus white is not a bad thing. There are white units in B tier. Yeah, exactly. So it's a little bit more inefficient. Okay, if you can afford the $10, buy it. But if this is all you got, it's okay. Like, don't let people trick you into thinking that you're gonna die. Okay, I have to run some cables, so that means you guys don't get to see my face for a second. I might turn on my feet cam because I know some of you guys are kind of into that. Oh my gosh, these cables are all over the place. Here we go. Let's get a 24-pin ATX going through. Can y'all see that? Oh, y'all can see me. That's creepy. All right, let's get some cables ran through, and then I can swap it over. That is Gucci. Next, we need the CPU. Let's get that going over here in the top left. We need 2 PCIEs for the power supply. I can run those through the bottom. Oh, sorry, not the power supply, the graphics card. Man, this is why I hate not using a script, man. I just say random stuff that doesn't make any sense. Is there one in the front? No. This is gonna be it. Sam brings up a good point. If you were going to be harmed, then why is it an Amazon bestseller? Exactly. Why does a power supply that is going to blow up your house have 200,000 reviews, right? Like, go to any power supply and look up the reviews. You will find a bunch of people saying it broke, it sparked, white smoke, even on like the best ones. It's just how it is. It's the name of the game. I guess I should do all these as well. All right, let's do USB. That's probably here, huh? Okay, that's enough to get us started. Ugh. Hey, I'm back. Please turn on feed cam, Drew. Oh my gosh, relax. Let's see. Got that in. ATX. Let's get the. I'm gonna clean up all those cables later. So if it looks kind of messy, I promise I'm gonna fix it later. Let's get this CPU one in. If my hand can fit here. Gosh, I'm so glad I don't have to install the fans. That's sick. I hate screwing in fans. Not because it's particularly difficult. It's just long. Here we go. Jason's sexualizing himself now. A feet cam for a PC build live stream would be diabolical. Hey, if Twitch streamers can do it, I can too. What is this for? Oh, these are for the actual fans. I think we have a thing in the... No, I gotta plug it in here. That's not gonna work. That's not gonna... Yeah, I think the fan controller in the back is only for the RGB. The PC swaying like that is giving me 1993 Doom motion sickness. Sorry, dude. I don't think it's the PC swaying. I think it's my camera is mounted to my desk, and so when I hit the desk, it hits the camera, and it's also autofocusing a lot. Silly Goober, have a good night, man. See you later. Let's see. What do I need to do? I need to check out the other cables. i5 12600K or Ryzen 5 5600X. They're both great, man. I would say they are comparable. It's really up to you. I wouldn't say I prefer one over the other. Yeah, so this I don't know if y'all can see that. This fan controller. Oh man, it's all busted up. There's this bent pins. Look at that. You see that bent pin right there? Oh my gosh. That's all right. Here's how you fix that. Here's how you do it at iBuyPower. You go boop, boop. And it's fixed. Look at that. We've done it. Yeah, so these are not this is not for the fans. This is only for the RGB. So I need to plug in the fans directly into the motherboard. But I don't know if I have 4 fans. Is there really nowhere to put this? There's a SATA port. I think that's just for the RGB. Well, that kind of sucks. I might have to get a splitter. I do have a fan splitter here, so it's not the end of the world, but I would much rather not use it so I can save it for other builds. Let me push through all these fan cables so I can get that. Plug in this. Get some RGB on our there. Okay. All right, I need to wire these two as well. I can go through. This is the ugly part of PC building, guys. And especially since I'm having to like do this on camera and on a tiny desk. Let's plug in the SATA. And I'm gonna hide all these cables in here. Try to clean up a little bit. Clean up my mess. This does not have this cable. Get that. Okay, I'm gonna organize all this later, guys. I promise. It's gonna be so clean, so nice. You guys are gonna be like, wow, that really is so clean and so nice. Here we go. Okay. There's going to be a baseline duty fee now for everything leaving China. Yeah, that's going to be really tough for like Shine and Temu and even AliExpress. So that's going to be tough. I don't think it's going to go through. I think it's the fact that it would like destroy Temu. I don't think the Chinese government would allow it. I think they're going to figure out a way to negotiate it. It truly would destroy a lot of their industries and a lot of small businesses too in China. The Ryzen 5600 are still $75 on AliExpress. Get them before end of May. Everything will be at least $20 more. Yeah, that's a great price for them. The Feet Cam plus Emma Frost Cam equal instant viral. I'll consider it for the next stream. Where was the Gigabyte P7? I have no idea. I don't actually look at the tier list that often. I need to head out. Have a great night. Good night, Jeff. Have a great night, dude. Cable management is overrated. Unless you're buying a pre-built, as long as the back closes and it looks good from the front, I don't mind what the back looks like. I agree with that, and I think Nathan agrees as well. How I like is if the front looks organized and clean, I'm happy. If the back looks kind of messy, I don't mind as long as nothing's getting snagged. I don't spend an hour making sure everything looks all pretty. I just want to make sure it's not going to like snag anything. So as long as it's like accessible and loose, I don't really care. It can be loose. Who cares? That's my thoughts on it. You plug in these cables. HD audio. F panel. All right, now I got to plug in some fans. Jason becomes an Emma Frost VTuber. I would love to be a VTuber. I don't know if y'all have noticed, in my videos recently, I have not been showing my face. It's just been a voiceover, and I've been really liking it. It helps a lot. I feel like I can be more of myself and show off my actual emotions. Well, not my emotions, like my expressions more so than I can on camera, because when I'm reading from a script on camera, I have a hard time moving my face because I'm so like trying to read the words. It's tough. I would love to be a VTuber. If that's something that people would allow and not be weirded out by, yeah, why not? That sounds awesome. Let me get this going here. It's 2025. Can we just get a proprietary plugin for the front panel for reset power? For real, dude. This one is a nice little like one big plug, which I like. It's not like a bunch of little ones for this case, so I do like that. But yeah, I agree. We just need something that's like just one big proprietary plug. I'm cool with that. Those can stay there. Okay, where are my fans? That can go through there. I gotta start finding fan ports, and I don't think I have enough. I truly think I'm gonna need a splitter. Is there only the one? This cheap ass motherboard? Come on. Hold on. No way. Oh my gosh, there's one other than the CPU. Oh, there's two. There's only two fan headers in this case. That stinks, man. That's okay. I'll get a splitter later. I'm just gonna plug in these for now. Will that fit? Come on. There we go. Yeah, we'll just have to do that for now, I suppose. Let's clean up a little bit before we put the GPU in. Have to run this back here. Okay. All right, it's looking a little cleaner. This is like the most ugly angle for a PC. That it looks like garbage. But in reality, it'll look okay. I do dislike that there's this gap here. This is, to me, when there's a gap behind the motherboard, this makes the computer look cheap because this motherboard doesn't fit properly in this case. But again, he said he does not care what it looks like that much. I told him there's not going to be any RGB, but there is. So it's going to be under, what is it? Under expectations, over delivery. right? I only connect power switch. I ain't gonna lie, I do too. That's usually whenever I do it, I sometimes I do the restart button, but I usually just do power. I don't ever hit the reset button, so there's no point. I don't connect HDD. Yeah, I mean, I don't do any of that. It's honestly the hardest part of the build for first-time builders. Absolutely. Most motherboards use the same front panel header. I agree that case manufacturers should include a block connector for the header. Yes, motherboard companies should include an adapter in the box too. That would be cool too. It's just easier, man. Like, why do you gotta mess around? Okay, we need the GPU. I left it in the other room. So I will be right back. One moment. Don't look at my feet. Okay. So we are going with one of these bad boys, a RX 5700 XT from AliExpress from Soyo. This was one I used in a previous video, so I'm excited to get it out there. Hold on. Yeah. So 5700 XT will be good for 1080p gaming because that's where they're going to play on, and some early level 1440p. So should be good for them. I still love the 5700 XT. It's kind of on its way out, but for the price, I think it's still good. It's definitely going to replace the RX 580 in terms of price to performance pretty soon here. But the RX 580 is just good, man. But it's hard to recommend it, you know, unless you're building like a $200 PC. I don't think anyone should be using the RX 580 outside of that. Like I've heard of some people saying they're building like a $400 PC for the RX 580. I'm like, what's the rest of the money going to? Like, you're wasting money on what, aesthetics? Like that's what matters. All right, let's get this bad boy in. Let me move this over. Oh, y'all even see it here? I'll show it off. RX 580. Look at that. And it's black. It's gonna match. Oh man. It's already 9. We gotta speed this up. I know I'm a very slow builder. Okay. I cannot see it. There we go. Click. All right. Cool. GPU is in. Let's get some screws for that bad boy. With frame gen, it's going to be a blessing to lower end GPUs. Yes. That's also my hot take. That I liked David's take on Danny's video. I like frame gen. I like DLSS. I like FSR. The only people who are complaining about it are people with money, frankly. I dislike how they advertised it. I think saying it like it's the same as a 4090 on a 5070 is very stupid. What a stupid thing for NVIDIA to do. And they should stop doing that. But if they're upfront about it and they're saying, hey, with DLSS you can get even more frames, and just be honest about the difference between pure rasterization and AI upscaling or frame gen, it's going to be amazing. The fact that people can keep their PCs for longer because they're using stuff like that is amazing. especially people with they're unlocking it for older PSU or older GPUs. Using FSR on this is going to be sick, man. That's so great. Like anyone who says, "Oh, it's fake frames," are you rich? Like that's all I can tell. Like you're rich. You are a rich person. Anyone who's just joined us recently, I see we have a lot of viewers. Nice. What's up, guys? I'm sure you guys know me. My name is Jason. We are building a $500 gaming PC. This is for my cousin. It's a weird build. If you want to see what's in it, it's in the video description, okay? And if you want, I have a Discord server that is very low key. Please don't tell anyone about it. I'm going to post the invite link. Feel free to join. But again, don't leak it. It's just for people who are in the stream. It's just for you guys. What's up, Mars? I have ordered a mini PC with an i9 13900K for 500 pounds. Is a Core i5 12600K better than a 13900 HK? I don't think it is. Just off the top of my head, I feel like yours would be better or comparable. It's hard to say because this is a full fat one. That's like a mini PC chip. That's a great chip. Great, fantastic chip. The best. It's the best chip I've ever seen. Absolutely the greatest. Many men are saying it's a great chip. I don't know. I think they say that. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's a neat crutch, but it's very noisy. They have to stop stretching it so thin. Yeah, I can agree with that. Sometimes it's just not worth it, but sometimes it is okay. I complain about those technologies only because they don't benefit me as much because I mainly only play FPS games or emulate PS3, Wii, Switch, 360. Yeah, totally. And I think there is a good case for it. I don't think it's for everyone, but there's a certain amount of people who are like, they don't want it at all. They think it shouldn't exist. They think it's stupid. I think it's going to help a lot of people, especially people who can't afford the newest stuff. And I love that because my goal with this channel is to make sure the most amount of people can play games and use computers. And that's it, period. End of sentence, right? And so if they can do that, I'm happy about it. But I can understand, I don't always use it, right? Like I use Pure most of the time, but that's not always the case for everyone. So when it comes to my personal rig, I prefer raw performance, but I would not do frame gen unless I do some testing for a YouTube video. That's fine too. Totally good. I'm not rich, but it's fake frames. Ugly frames. Well implemented FSR and DLSS sometimes look okay. Sometimes it's yikes. Yeah, and so I agree. You have to kind of like figure out what looks good for you. But what I'm mostly talking about is, think about it like this. Would you rather not play a game, or would you rather play a game at 30 FPS because you don't have a computer? I'd rather play a game at 30 FPS than not play a game. Now, would you rather play a game at 20 FPS, pure rasterization, or would you rather use fake frames to get it to 60 and it's a little bit noisy? I would prefer noisy. And so like it's just that kind of stuff where I feel like on the lower end hardware, if they get it really good, if it keeps going, it's going to help us use less power. It's going to make less heat for people. Eventually things will be cheaper because we're not worrying about, rasterization, these huge, gigantic GPUs. And Dave 2D made a great point in his recent video about laptops, where laptops have been maxed out at 175 watts for a long time because people don't want a laptop this thick, right? You have to add, with more power comes more cooling, comes more heat, comes all this stuff. And so by using frame gen and AI upscaling, we can get even more frames on our laptops and keep them nice and cool, keep them thin and light. It's the perfect use case for those technologies. I think NVIDIA and AMD have to be upfront about that there is a difference between them and stop pretending like they're the exact same thing. And they have to work on the noise issues. But I think long term, I think it is good for consumers. I think it's good for low end and high end. I think it's good for everyone. You know what I mean? So I think it's going to get there. Using upscaling on Call of Duty should be avoided at all costs due to added latency. And I hope that works too, yeah. I think, obviously, if you are using it on a shooter and you want the lowest latency esports stuff, yeah, maybe don't do it. But again, if it's between that and not playing it, I'm gonna use it. You know what I mean? Trump Jason. Solid Trump impersonation. Thank you. By the way, Jason, big W for gamers today. NVIDIA made physics open source, which is good. Very cool. I did not know that. I'm living life on a GF 1660 and a GF 3060. Personally, I'd rather turn all my stuff to low, but it keeps silicone in action longer. I'm into it too. That's awesome. That's what I like to see too. By the way, my mini PC comes with a GPU dock that has a built-in 600 watt power, and I can connect a desktop 5090 to it through PCIe Gen 5. Very cool. That's awesome. I could not get my 5090 to work on a GPU dock. Like is yours PCIe Gen 5? Because truly, mine wouldn't work over Thunderbolt. I wonder if it would work over Oculink. I could not get it to work. I got a lot of crashes. But I'm thinking to get a 5070 for it, so total cost is £1,000. That's pretty solid. Technologies like that can also help console manufacturers keep consoles cheap and accessible. I know we're on a PC stream. Yes, I agree as well. The fact that Nintendo is using it for the Switch to get 4K 60, that's great, man. If we can put it in consoles especially, it's going to help keep the prices down. If all people are looking for is a 4K 60 or 4K 120 and adding a little bit of AI upscaling in there to help out a little bit on games that are a little bit too powerful, that's going to help console gamers a lot. And I'm here for it, man. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not even a big console guy, but I want the most amount of people to pay the least amount of money to get their game on. You know what I mean? The model's called V-Link GTI Ultra. Oh, that thing? Yeah. I have tried that out, but I didn't try it with the 5090. Very cool. My nephew's the type that will use PC hardware until it no longer works for software. That guy will continue using his RX 580 until he can no longer launch his games. That's what you like to see, man. I wish I had that kind of resilience. That's like the best kind of consumer. Let's get this powered. Enough yapping. Oh wait, this is a 6-pin. Oops. They have updated the GPU dock? Okay, cool. Yeah, I haven't tried it. Is that it? That might be it. I think I have to cable organize, and I think 2 of these fans aren't plugged in because of I don't have enough connectors. I need a splitter, but I think this PC is done. Hey, Ryuken8132, thanks for subscribing, man. Preesh. Can I bring this up? Hey, look at that. It shows it. That's fun. Let me get a power cable. Hold on. I think I have a power cable under my desk. I'll just grab one. Being lazy. So the performance we're looking at this, I mean, with a 12600KF and a 5700 XT, this will be super solid 1080p performance, but it's also going to be really good 1440p for a lot of games, not all games, but a lot of indie games, a lot of lower end AAA games. I think this will be just fine. I think they're going to play Helldivers on this the most. So I think for that, it's going to be perfect. Yes, let's do a boot test. He paid $100 for his PC, a 580 and the 8700. That's great. Good for him. Give props to your nephew. My niece is 18 and she's never built a computer, and I wanted to have her on the stream to have a stream where someone who's never built a PC builds a PC. and I'm not going to touch it. I'm just going to like tell her what to do. And so mostly because I thought it'd be fun for her and it'd be a good learning opportunity, but also it shows people the full process from start to finish of how a non-PC person views PC parts, right? And how they want to do it. And I think it would be a helpful VOD for people, I feel like. All right, we're doing a boot test. Y'all ready? Let me reload this. What are we thinking? Is this going to turn on or not? Did I forget anything? I'm very worried. The computer looks so ugly at this angle, man. I swear, no computer looks good at this angle, this top down. Here, maybe I can do this. Hold on. Let's go full screen. Ugh. Here, I can do this. Wait, nah, that didn't help. Like this? Does that even help? I don't know. Okay. Let's do a boot test. 3, 2, 1. Nothing, it's dead. Hold on, I gotta flip the PSU. Ah, it lives. But like oh my god. Hold on. Oh my, did y'all see that? Okay. That cable was stuck and it started bleeding. Uh-oh, it turned off. All right, just memory testing. I think we are in the clear. Let me drop it down. I gotta move that fan cable. It's going crazy. Hey, cool it. Hey. Grab it. Come here. Get out of there. We're booting, boys. We have booted. And I got all the RGB was mostly plugged in. I guess I forgot one cable. Stop hitting that. How do you keep getting sucked into there? Go under. Well, it hasn't crashed yet, so I think we're in the clear. I think it'll look a lot better when I get it all cable managed and, you know. Oh, my camera's not even on me. I'm over here. Y'all got to see my messy, all my paint supplies right now. It lives. We've done it. We have built this PC. Uh, 8700 is still a relevant CPU as well. I think it's great. Yeah. I'm stunned that 8th Intel and RX5A are still so good. Yeah, I like 8th gen Intel. I think it's no problem, especially the i7s. Even 6th, 7th gen Intels are still usable. I mean, in my opinion, the best $300 build is the P520 and 5700 XT. So easy to do as well. Yeah, that's what Dylan's using, but he's using the RTX 3060. But it's either way, it's great builds. Does this have color changing? No, I didn't plug in the color changing button, but I think usually you can press the reset button and it should do it. One thing I don't like about this case is the very front of it is at an angle. So I don't know if you can see this. It domes, it's like right down the middle. There's this big cut and it's not flat. It goes down an angle like a roof. And I hate that. I want a flat piece. Like, yes, it's airflow and I'm cool with that, but I just want flat. I don't want a roof, a thatched roof, man. But other than that, it's a fine case. It's got glass. It's just in the other room. And I might cover this up because I don't like showing off any power supply. So I might peel this sticker off. Or leave it. I'll let them decide. And I'm probably going to hide some of these cables a little bit better. And I'm going to change the color because I don't think they're going to like green. But I think it's okay. Nice looking PC. Thank you, Blind Tech. VTN Wesley says, I have friends in need who have too much tech anxiety to do things like that. Yeah, and I never find good 5700 XT deals. Could just do RX 600, I guess, though. Yeah, absolutely. Totally true. For an ultimate budget, the HP Z440 is also a great deal. Have not built in that yet, but I look forward to it. I keep putting it off. By the way, guys, if you are viewing now for the first time, this is a weekly stream. So every Monday at 7 p.m. Central Time. I said Stime. Damn it. 7 p.m. Central Time, American time. Every Monday, we'll have a stream. It's not always a PC build. Sometimes we do things like a few weeks ago, I rated all my subscribers' PC setups. So they put it into the Discord and we roasted them. Really a lot of fun. You can go watch the VOD of that if you want. It's on the channel. That was a really funny stream. I think going forward, we're going to have a few special things, but just know it's not always going to be a PC build. Sometimes it'll be just hanging out, talking tech, talking tariffs, doing Trump impressions. All right, I'm glad this is not turning off because that means we have succeeded. So this is the first PC for my cousin. He actually ordered 2. The second one, all the parts are still in the mail. They should be here tomorrow, actually. So I might save that build for next week. I don't think he's in a rush to get it. I think that'd be a little bit more fun to build. It's a kind of a higher end PC. And it's all white and all pretty. So it'll take a little bit of time, but we'll see. We will see. I've got a lot of stuff going on for the channel that I need to just do, and I keep putting off. I know last week I talked about an ITX PC, but because of all the painting and the stuff going around our house, I haven't even really started it. If the cuz is getting it for free 99, not a bad build. So it's not free 99. He is paying, but it's not as much as the PC is worth, right? So it's not free, but it is kind of like I need it sooner rather than later, and I don't mind if it's ugly, and I'd like a discount. So that's kind of how it is. My $40 RX 580 is coming tomorrow to pair with my i3 10100F. Nice. Good deal. Oh, $40. Yeah, that's awesome. Man. Also, did Jason bait us with the thumbnail? Thought it was going to have an RX 6600. Okay, look. Kind of. So if you look in the thumbnail, the CPU cooler is different too. It's white. This is not that same cooler. It's because I thought I was going to use that GPU and that CPU, but I ended up not because we're saving it for something else. Okay. And things changed since I made that thumbnail 2 days ago. Or no, I made that thumbnail three or 4 days ago. And the plan changed since then. I didn't feel like taking a new picture. But Mirage, that is not an RX 6600. You're still wrong. That is an RTX 3070. It was a good try, but yeah, you're a little off. Yeah. So originally this was supposed to be a slightly more expensive build, and it was going to have the 12600KF paired with the 3070. That got nixed. It's a little bit different now, but you know, we're changing plans. It's a little bit cheaper of a computer now. But that would have been a great build. A 12600KF and a 3070 is like picture perfect to me. That is like my ideal mid-range PC. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit lower mid-range because it's still DDR4 and it's a 5-year-old GPU. But I guess that would be considered entry level at this point. I don't know. It's a little bit too good, man. Oh yeah, it's the one you showed earlier. Yeah. Yeah, that is it. But that 3070 is going to go into the second PC by my cousin. So that it will be in the one next week. I don't know if I want to build that on stream or if I want to wait. We'll see. Maybe I will build it next stream. I like having things to do on stream other than just sit here and shoot the shoot. You know what I mean? But this is a good PC. I'm going to take it off my table and we'll go full screen mode. Still need some work. Still need to install Windows. I need to cable manage it better, and I need to find a fan splitter and put the glass on, clean it up. There's a little dusty inside. Could use a little cleaning. Oh man, look at how much room for activities we have. This is fantastic. Okay. Hey guys, what's up? How's it going? How's everyone doing? Thanks for coming out. And again, if y'all are new here, we seem to have an influx of viewers. I appreciate y'all. Every Monday, 7 p.m. CST. That's when we're shooting for. And I've actually been consistent with it for some reason. I'm trying my hardest, guys. I promise. I want to do it every week. Let me fix my camera, or maybe I can just fix where I'm sitting. Right there. Boom. I gotta go now. See ya, Blind Tech. See you later. Let's talk tariffs. Everyone's favorite topic. I don't know if the tariffs are gonna affect us. I mean, they obviously would affect us if they stay in effect, but they're so crazy high. I don't see a world in which they actually make them last. I think they're threatening. The build looks great. I think your cousin's gonna love it. Thanks, man. Thanks, Nathan. I think so too. So far they have been playing on like gaming laptops, so I think this is actually going to be their first desktop PCs. So I think they're really excited. But it was like the worst timing ever, right? Like they messaged me a day after tariffs were announced, and I'm like, y'all are like, why did you wait so long? First of all, there are going to be tariffs. The prices are going to go up. Second of all, it is impossible to get high-end GPUs right now, or even mid-ranged. You can't get Intel Intel B580s. Those are impossible to get, even the mid-range ones. You can't get 9070 XTs. You can't get RTX 5080s, 5090s, 5070s. Like, I'm like, this is like the worst time to build a PC outside of COVID, truly. I'm like, if you want a PC, yes, we might have to wait. But if we wait for a GPU, it's possible the prices go up, and it's possible they start getting scalped, and it might be impossible to get no matter what. So I told them, here's what we're going to do. Let's build a PC with a CPU that's slightly better than you need and a GPU that's slightly worse than you need. So I have an RTX 3070. It's a great GPU, but if you want, you can upgrade it later on. So if you feel like it's not enough power, let me know. We can upgrade it down the line. And so that computer is going to have a 3070 in it because he's not playing at 4K or anything. And then the CPU is a little bit stronger than it needs, and it's going to be DDR5. So it'll be a very modern computer, but the GPU will be 5 years old. Still play great. 3070 is still a fantastic card, especially for what they're playing. But we're going into it knowing that once everything cools down and he can get a better GPU, he probably will. Because he just wants something future-proof, right? Like not future-proof, but something that is a little bit stronger than he needs today, so he can wait a little bit longer to upgrade down the line, right? So that's the plan. But he also wanted it to be white. He wanted it to be RGB, and his wish is our command, right? Like that's just how it is. So I ordered all those parts, and I already have the GPU on hand. So I think maybe we'll build that next week. It'll be a bit of a bigger budget. I'm thinking more like 1,000 because it's DDR5, and it's not going to be the best price to performance build because it is going to have like 2 terabytes of SSD storage. It's going to have a little bit extra aesthetics, so it is. People might look at the price and think, oh, that's high for a 3070 PC. It is. It's because we spent money on other stuff as well. Because that's what they wanted. So that's what they get. Let me pull this down. Does that work? Boom. Look at that angle. Okay. We're gonna hang out for maybe a little bit longer because there's 40 of y'all here. I'd love to entertain all of y'all. This. Erg, I love GPU shortages and then tariff-related price hikes. I know, it's like the perfect storm of bad things happening, right? Like, it's already hard enough to get the GPUs. Now the GPUs, when you get it, it's going to be way more. We're going back into a COVID-like era of 8600G or lowballing the GPU being the only options. I hope it's not for too long. I hope it's not for too long. I know the tariffs are going to go away. They're very bad. We hate tariffs. We like playing China for cheap graphics cards. We want all of them. I don't care if it's a part of Taiwan. I just want my cheap graphics cards. As long as they come over here and they get their grubby little hands on them and they manufacture them faster, that's great. Bring GPU manufacturing back to America, even though it's never been here ever. Tariffs dropped, and my brother-in-law was on a call that evening working to get an RTX 5070. So thankful we copped one for $600. Thank God, man. Y'all are lucky. It could have been so much worse. Luckily, the tariffs aren't in effect immediately, but the problem is that manufacturers are like, some of them are already talking about like how much they're going to be charging. And so they jump the gun on it. They're like, okay, if we charge more now, people will panic buy and we get to keep it because they're not having to pay tariffs just yet. Right. So it's like, it's such a scummy move. You know what I mean? Whether it's from Newegg or it's from the manufacturer or it's whoever it's from, it's like, it just sucks. It sucks right now to build a PC. And because you can't buy new cards, that is inflating the price of used cards. Like the RTX 3070 was at like a $250 price for a long time. Now they're up to like $300 out of nowhere. Like, it just sucks. My wife was pissed when I dropped $300 on an RX 6800 until I showed her how much I could resell it for. Yeah. That's a good price for an RX 6800. And it sucks how crazy, like, it's crazy that if you bought a GPU 6 months ago, that same GPU could be so much more expensive now. And it hasn't even been that long. You know what I mean? The best Trump impersonation with a bit of De Niro thrown in. That means it's not a good it's not a good impersonation. Look, here's my De Niro, right? Nathan, you asking me, Nathan? You're good, Nathan. You're good, kid. You're good. You want a GPU, Nathan? I got you one. Oh my God, Shining. What is an RX 5700 XT equivalent to its NVIDIA counterpart? I would say 5700 XT equivalent. A GTX 1080 Ti is generally kind of in the same ballpark. The 1080 Ti, or maybe a 2070. I think an RTX 2070 or a GTX 1080 Ti. Yeah. RX 6800 was $360 brand new 6 months ago. At that price point for a brand new GPU, it was the budget king. Yeah, absolutely. Or the 3060. You're right. Yeah. So like a 3060 or a 2070 or a 1080 Ti. Those would be the best. Yeah. Those are totally good. Of those, the 3060 would be the best one to buy because it's just the newest. I heard Jason's building my PC next. I don't even know what your PC is, bruh. I be building PCs. Y'all know. I mean, whenever you're the guy in your family and friends group who builds PCs, they're always just want you to do it. And I'm happy to do it. I love it. Like, why not? And it's great because it gives me content. I like content. It's because I run out of ideas. So I'm more than happy to do it. I never charge extra for it if it's a friend or a family. I charge exactly what it costs, and I'm not going to deliver it. Like if they have to come pick it up or buy me dinner for me to go deliver it, because, I'm not going to drive an hour to drop off something I didn't get any money for. But it's been fine. Yeah, I don't mind doing it. I love it. It's really fun. Whoa, still going. Nice. I'm going to call it soon, Dylan. We're just chilling. I need a little break after building the PC. I just bought two 1080 Ti's for $160 together. Some easy flips coming. Wow. Great price, man. I remember the 1080 Ti during COVID was $500. Now, obviously, that was, 4 years ago. So it's come down in price considerably, even without COVID, right? So it's not like it was going to be $400 now, but I'm just saying the inflated price. I remember it being $500 and $550. It's crazy. Good find, Casey. PC port of The Last of Us 2 looks so good. Had to double dip. Nice. I have not bought it yet. I did play it on PlayStation 5 when it first came out, and yeah, it was fine. It looked pretty good. I liked the rope physics. I thought the rope physics were really cool. I wish they had more rope stuff in the game. And you can quote me on that. I like rope stuff. I had to give the old Irish goodbye. Sorry about that. No problem, Dylan. And this is a stream. Come and go as you please. Come back. Leave. No problem. We're just hanging out. It's always a great time hanging out on a stream with friends that is relaxed and chill. Thanks, Nathan. I appreciate that. And we'll always do bad impersonations here. 1080 Ti will always be NVIDIA's biggest mistake, and FSR XeSS frame gen will keep it going for many more years. I had a 1080 Ti, and it was great. Truly, I really, really liked it. To me, the 1080 Ti, getting the 1080 Ti was like me telling, and this was back in the day, this was me telling myself, you've earned this because you can afford it now. And it was the first time I had bought a GPU that was like a really high-end one. Because the one I was using before that was the 970. And I needed help to pay for the 970 GPU. And so it was nice to buy a 1080 Ti because it was like, hey, this is your hobby. You love it. If you want to spend some more money on it, go for it, right? And that's kind of my take on it all the time. I feel like Nerd on a Budget, obviously we're great friends and we think a lot of the same way in a lot of ways. He is more of the, you don't need better components because you can still have a great time at 1080p or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, and I agree with that. If I was forced to play in 1080p, I would still have the same amount of fun because it's more about playing with my friends. But I'm also in the boat where I think people who've earned the money and who use their computer 24/7, they should, if they want to spend the money on a hobby that they think is important to them and they want better performance, I think that they should do it if they can afford it, like just realistically. I have no problem with that. The problem is that I've seen people who say, I want to get into PC gaming. They drop $2,000 on a computer, play GTA 5 RP for a month, and then never touch it again. Now that to me, that is wasting money. That to me is the wasting money. But if you buy something and you use it every single day and you wring its life out of its neck for everything, and you learn to use it and you work on it and you play games on it every day and it is awesome, I think it's worth it depending on whatever you can afford, right? That's just how I work. And so I think people should play games at the settings that they enjoy and that they want and be okay with spending more money if they have it available, but also don't jump in too deep, thinking this is my only chance, because you can always upgrade down the line, or because maybe you start small, maybe you upgrade, maybe you stay the same. Maybe you're totally content playing about however you want to play. You know what I mean? Hey, I got $30 out of the GTX 970 class action lawsuit. I think I did too. I can't remember. I remember getting the email. I think I did. It's been a while. That was like 10 years ago, so I can't remember. I just set up TDAR to get some disk space back. Nice. What's up, JT? Good to see you again. 1440p DLSS FSR balanced medium setting. Bob's your uncle. I'm content with that, honestly. That is like a really good experience. A lot of single player games, I would rather, like, let's say I was playing on a computer. Let's say I was playing Cyberpunk, and natively my computer could run Cyberpunk at like 1440p 60 FPS on medium settings. Totally playable. I would rather go to high and use DLSS, because to me, I don't see that much of a difference in DLSS when it's in a single player game. And if it's only that much of a difference, I think it's worth having the higher settings. But again, it's different per game and per person, right? It really depends on what you're doing and how you're using it. I've also tried using DLSS on the finals, so it's like a really fast esports game, and I don't like it. I'll admit. I don't feel there's latency. Like, I don't physically feel it, but there have been times where I feel like I lose. I don't want to say I lost because of DLSS. It just feels like I didn't have the upper hand in a way that was graphical, right? Like sometimes, you don't have the upper hand in a terms that is like lag, or it could be skill. And it just felt like there was something happened where if I was rasterizing at full potential and not using AI frames, maybe my shot would have gone off first, right? And there's already a lot of desync in that game. So I don't want to add anything to the fire. I want it to give myself the best chance possible to win. So I don't use DLSS in the finals, but if I had to, I would have no problem with doing that. If I had to, right? Like, it's just how it is. I'm going to sit up. Hold on, guys. I'll bring this up a little bit. Oh, and then I have to go down. I suck at streaming, guys. Here we go. Nope. Boom. Okay. And I can move this down. No, not that. Chat overlay. Yeah, look at us. We're doing it. What about every other day? Bob's your uncle. There is this great mindset that the PC and gaming community in general could learn. Minding your own damn business. As long as we are gaming and enjoying, then people shouldn't be crapping on. That is how it should be, Dylan. Unfortunately, there are elitists in everything you do. There are people who feel like they are better than others, and the problem is that those people are shitty people outside of PC as well. So bad actors and bad people will come into every hobby and every subreddit and every post. Like, they exist and they are insufferable in every aspect of their life, and so you just have to ignore them, like, because they will always be there. A-holes exist all over the world in every corner of your life, and so you just need to ignore them because they will always exist, unfortunately. And so that's why I try to have an inclusive channel where we don't talk crap about what people have, because we don't know their situations, we don't know their preferences, we don't know everything about them, right? And so, like, the decisions they make, I mean, it's about games, right? It's about PCs. Who cares? Like, ultimately, no one's telling me to chop off my head or chop off my uncle's head, right? We're just talking about games. We're talking about what electronics you purchased. Like, does it really matter? Who cares? Like, get a life. You need that OBSBot webcam so it tracks you. JT, I am using that OBSBot webcam so it tracks me. I just have it turned off. Both of the webcams I'm using are OBSBot webcams. The problem is that I turn it off because it is distracting. I feel like the tracking part is like weird and distracting. It's a good feature, I feel like, if you have a presentation and you're standing up and walking around a lot, but I just feel like it's just distracting. It's too much movement. Look, see, there's that one, the white one. And then the one above that I was using for building the PC earlier is the one with the motor that actually physically moves. It's just distracting, I feel like. Forced ray tracing and mesh shaders is what will force peeps to abandon certain cards as more and more games come out. Yeah, for sure. But I mean, even without those, as time goes on, people abandon old stuff and buy new stuff, right? So it was going to happen no matter what. And I don't think it's going to be outside of the same traditional refresh. So people generally update their stuff every 5 to 7 years. I don't think we're going to see people having to upgrade within 4 years because of that, right? It's still going to be 5 to 7. But yes, that is going to be one of the main reasons why we start seeing that a lot more. Casey says, I'm a firm believer that cloud gaming is the future. However, internet infrastructure will be getting stronger, and we will be paying for subs instead of hardware. That's a lot of people think that too. Yeah, I think it could be cloud gaming. I think is going to be awesome for impoverished nations or nations that don't have good internet access now, but they will eventually. Telling someone they have to go buy even, like, let's say $200 computer, right? For Americans, it's very cheap. For a lot of developed countries, it's not much. But for in a lot of places, $200 to a kid whose parents make $500 a month, like that's a tough sell, right? It's really tough. But if you told them, hey, mom, can I play on your work laptop or on my phone using a cloud network, and it only costs $5 a month or $10 or whatever, that is an easier sell to a lot of people who cannot afford the upfront cost of a PC. And I know people doubters will say, like, well, over the long time, that's going to cost more. Yes, if you do it forever. Ultimately, people will probably would buy a computer down the line, or in reality, yes, they did end up paying more. But it's the whole boot analogy, right? They can't afford the $200 boots now, but they can afford the cheap ones. And so at least it's not going to break, right? That $5 or $10 subscription to cloud is not going to break. It's just going to work. And then when you don't want to use it anymore, you can stop it. It's like, I think that's a much better sell for people who truly cannot afford a gaming PC, or frankly, who don't want a gaming PC. Like, we always forget that. We always think, well, you're settling for cloud gaming. You're settling for this. It's like, I know people in my life who don't want to own a PC. They don't want one. They don't have the room for it. They don't like it that much. They just want to play one game for like a month and move on. They want to play GTA 5 RP, and they want to play it until they get bored, and then that's it. They're just done. And so I think we need more options for those people. When we lose in Rivals Ranked, I automatically get blamed. Well, every time I lose, it's because someone's cheating. Oh, guys. Come on. Not PC-related, mattresses are a scam as well. I'm a big man. I kept going through them every 2 years. Oh, my God. Through my research, I found big companies use cheap materials. Latex is superior in every way. 2 years? I don't think mattresses are a scam. I think people need mattresses to sleep on. Like, when you say they're a scam, the product itself needs to exist. But yes, how they advertise it and like how they market it and stuff is certainly scammy and scummy. I mean, you have, in my area at least, you have mattress stores everywhere, and I never see anyone inside. So how are they staying open? And I think they've answered this. I think they said they only need to sell like 3 mattresses a week to stay open and still be profitable. And I'm like, if that's the margins that you can have at a retail store and you're having to sell only 3 mattresses a week, that's a scam. Like, truly, like, that's insane. Latex is usually quite good. I eventually built my own mattress. Nice. I have the memory foam one for $250 to $300. Nice. Convince the parents with the skill sets that their child can gain by having a PC. Put free coding, Blender, and CAD ebooks on the PC you sell them. That could be good. I mean, it's not even a scam. That's just true. Like, you can do a lot. Growing up, I learned how to use Photoshop. I learned how to use Premiere Pro. I learned how to use all these different softwares that helped me get jobs later on. And like, having that skill set you're the cool guy. You're the cool person in your friend group who's making memes. This was before meme generator and stuff, but I'm saying, like, having those having access to that software early on could be super helpful. Got a full PC with a R5 2600, a B450, and a GTX 1660 for $200. Good deal or not? That's a very good deal. Yeah, sounds good. But you can jump on one side of the mattress and not disturb the wife, especially after 4 hours of playing Emma Frost. Robert, I'm going to ban you for being horny. Don't tell me about jumping on the side of your bed when you're playing Emma Frost. I don't love game streaming, but I test everything I can get my hands on. Stadia was, and Luna is pretty good. I've been impressed, but I don't think it'll be for everyone, just like you said, time and place. Yeah, absolutely. I think I don't think it'll ever be better than rasterization unless we just stop making bigger and better GPUs. But I think because we need faster internet, and that's the biggest problem, is that most people don't have access to super fast internet. The fact that I have gigabit internet is like mind blowing to most people in the world. Like that is, it's just out of the question. And so I think as more and more countries become more developed and allow better access to internet and cheaper internet too, because you can't just have access to gigabit, it needs to be affordable. And you have to show people that it's worth it. So whenever I was last looking for our apartment, before we lived in this house, we were looking for an apartment, and this was in 2018. And I was telling my coworkers, this is when I worked a full-time job at the time. I was telling my coworkers, like, yeah, we're looking for an apartment. And they're like, well, what are you looking for? And I'm like, well, we want X, Y, Z. And also I want it to have good internet. And they were like so perplexed. They're like, what do you mean good internet? Everything has good internet. And I'm like, well, I want it to be fast internet. And they could not understand why anybody would pay more than basic internet. To them, Xfinity, AT&T, whatever, Frontier, they all have the cheapest package, and it's all about who had the cheapest internet, because internet is internet. And as long as they can pull up the YouTubes and the Netflix and the Facebook or whatever, internet was internet. And they truly could not understand why I would want fast internet and reliable internet and synchronized up and down. Like, and that blew my mind at the time. I'm like, how can y'all, normies, right? Like, oh, how could you not? That's crazy. It's like, come on. And I don't get it. And because to them, having gigabit internet doesn't make Netflix run faster. Having gigabit internet doesn't make YouTube better. Like, to them, if it loads, and it's done. Because all internet at a certain point is YouTube uploading in a second, Netflix turning on in a second, web pages loading in a second. So to them, it doesn't make any difference. For me, it's more about, it's not just the speed, it's about the bandwidth, right? And like throttle caps and just all that stuff. And I'm using a lot of internet to stream right now. This is running at 50,000 kilobytes per second. That would put a huge strain on a lot of people's internet, right? So normies just don't care. They don't know and they don't care. And it's going to be hard to convince people down the line why you need faster internet, because to them, the internet is already very, very fast. Why would I ever pay for more? So it'll be interesting in the future to see how that plays out. All right, guys, I'm going to go for about 5 more minutes. So get your last minute questions in. Maybe more. We've got a lot of viewers. Maybe I'll stick it out. If we're just hanging out, maybe I'll stick it out. We'll see. I am in the budget zone mainly. I have 5 gaming PCs in my living room, mine and one for each of my kids. Man, you've got a little LAN center in your living room. That's awesome. All right, I had to head out a bit. How did the bill turn out? Bill turned out great, Sleepy Mushroom. It looks good. It looks okay. And that's like the old Commodore and Atari argument. Mom, I can do my homework on it. Totally doing homework. Wink, wink, wink. Yeah, very true. That was a... Now they give kids laptops to go to school. At least in America they do. And so you can't use that argument anymore because they have computers. Jumping. Hey, Jason, I'm tired. Have a busy day. Tomorrow, so I'm heading off early stream. Take care, Jason. See you later, Sam. Have a good night. Bro, I have 5 gig internet. That's awesome. If it was a little bit cheaper, I would consider going up to 5 gig. My friend who lives in Austin, he said that they had 8 gig internet. And my friend's kind of a normie, and he said he was going to buy the 8 gig because it wasn't that much more expensive than just gigabit. And I'm like, dude, that's way too much for you. And then within like a couple days, he downgraded to 1 gig because he's like, I couldn't tell the difference. I'm like, yeah, because you don't do anything that could require that. Because not only did he had 8 gig, he does not have 10 gig switches. He does not have 10 gig Ethernet cables, right? Like, the Wi-Fi is going to cap out at whatever it can. You don't have the hardware equipment to do that. Why are you wasting the money on this? And so having to convince people that as well, to get 5 gig internet, you have to get 5 gig switches. You have to get 5 gig cables. You have to, and every device in your network has to have a 5 gig NIC in it. Does your TV have a 5 gig NIC? No. Does your console have one? No. Most things don't have one. So it's going to run at the max that Wi-Fi is going to run, or it's going to run at the max that NIC can run. And most NICs are gigabit these days, except for TVs. And that's the problem. If you get 5 gig for the average normie, they're not going to be able to tell the difference. right? Obviously, Casey, you know what you're doing, so it's going to help you. But for the average normie, they're not going to care. You know what I mean? But that's awesome. I wish I had 5 gig. That would be super, super cool. It's just a little bit too expensive for me, and we're not using it enough to justify it. I would love to get 5 gig and then run this stream in 4K. I think that'd be super fun. I move soon and go from gigabit symmetric back to Comcast. Hell, that sucks, dude. I had Comcast before we got here. Yeah, that's horrible. Reference to those people that rage playing games. That's not me. GeForce is pretty good, honestly. I use it now because I have good internet now, and the hardware now is bad. Exactly. Great example of how to use GeForce. When your hardware is bad, but your internet's pretty good. That's how to do it. Very cool. I like it too. I tried it for a few months. I had it here and there, and every time I played on it, it was pretty good. I even played the finals on it, and yes, there was a delay for sure. I could tell, but I was still doing pretty good. It was not as bad as most people think, but it is certainly a delay. Cheers, chat. It's been a blast hanging out with you. It's been a blast with you too, Nathan. I get 5 gig for $75 a month. Wow, that's what I pay for 1 gig. Oh yeah, Comcast 1 gigabit down, 30 kilobits up. Why? Because they're not running over fiber. They're running over old copper, which just sucks. Yeah, it sucks. I would rather it be the opposite, to be honest. Upload to me is more important. In your opinion, what budget am I looking at to get a real performance boost from the P520 build? You mean like a whole new computer? So if you're building a whole new computer, Dylan, and you want to upgrade from the P520 with a 3060, a real performance boost, honestly, maybe $700 to $800, because you have to buy a new case. I guess you can move the storage over, but you have to buy a new case, new CPU, new RAM, new all this, because none of that is going to be transferable. What you can do is you can build a PC and keep your storage, keep your graphics card, sell the P520, and then build a computer using that graphics card and that storage. Okay, but make it DDR5, so you're going to have better 1% lows, faster RAM, faster everything, great CPUs, and then enjoy that with a 3060. You'll still get a performance boost probably. Just that alone with 3060. And then whenever you're ready to spend a little bit more money, maybe in 1, 2, 6 months, 12 months, you can trade up the GPU to get a faster GPU, and your PC's already ready to go because you've already done the hard work of getting the infrastructure there, right? So that could be a way to go about it. But the GPU is going to be your biggest purchase out of all of them, so that could be one way to go about it. Oh, I do believe a 6700 XT is the strongest GPU I'd put in a P520. I thought he meant building a whole new one. Yes, but yes, Casey's right. If you mean like putting it into that 520, a 6700 XT is probably the best one, or a 3070. Yeah, and those are about $250 to $300. Yeah, sorry, I didn't understand the question. Might be. I can't imagine being faster. It's 300 meg, right? I mean, what more does one need? Yeah, and for a lot of people, that's right. Like a lot of people, that's all they need. For me, it's more about throughput and bandwidth, because having faster speeds generally allow you to have access to more people using it. So if you have 5 people in a house, meaning you've got mom, dad, 2 kids, and grandma, everyone's watching Netflix at 4K. Good luck, man. Good luck. Or if even one person wants to download something, it's going to ruin it for everyone else, right? And so that's the big thing, right? If you are one person, you're single and you're living alone, yeah, sure. But yeah, and you make a good point, Robert. They keep offering me $500 for $10 more, but I don't think I would use it. If you're happy with what you have, then keep it for sure, no problem. And if you're riding that line where it's like, I never notice slowdowns, I never have issues with it, it's fast enough for me, totally good. Then keep it that way. I was just explaining a scenario in which a lot of people would want more, right? An upload speed is poop, though. Yeah, that too. Always go, if you're cool with what you have, never feel pressured to upgrade, and that includes your PC, your internet. Like, people are going to try to not trick you. They're going to try to tell you that you should upgrade. But if you are happy with what you have, upgrading won't make your life better. Like, just stay happy with what you have. Why not? You're right. Thank you for the answer. Yeah, for sure, man. 7500F budget GOAT for AM5. Yep. Also, Newegg has the Beef 650 VC Wi-Fi MSI motherboard for $65 after a $30 rebate. Nice. That's a good price. Wow. A B650 for 65 bucks. It's also through AT&T. That part probably surprises you. Yeah. Usually it's that's what I use too, and it's much more expensive here. Paying for streaming services is a scam. Again, I don't think it's a scam. You throw that word around a lot, Casey. You throw the word scam around a lot. There's a lot of people who use streaming services that it's not a scam for them. My whole house is hardwired. Nice. My nephew streams in 4K in the living room, streams in 4K, bedroom streams in 4K. That's awesome. Yeah. But here's the thing. If you are plugging that Ethernet directly into your TV, you're not getting the full access of it. Most TVs, even to this day, only have 100 megabyte NICs in them. They don't have gigabit because they know, as you should, that there's no point. For most people, putting in a gigabit NIC into a TV, there's no point because 4K streams cap out at much lower than that. But I mean, I'm just making a point. But you're right. That is great. That you're using that 5 gig network to its fullest, and that's the way to do it. Nope, not plugged directly into TV. I use Kodi. Ah, I see. So every room has a Kodi box. Very cool. Yeah, we have spec snobs. Not good. If it works, it works. Yeah. But because the TV goes through the fiber, it's always 300 megs. So you could be watching 10 things and it's still a solid 300. Yes. That's awesome. I look at streaming more like a potentially better rental. Remember when we rented one movie or two movies and it cost as much as Netflix for a whole month? Yeah. That's a good point. Things just keep getting better. Plex all the way, but everything I have max is 1080. Even on our 54-inch TV, it looks great. Nice. Okay, yeah, and again, look, JT has just said, I use 1080p, and I love it. I love it. That's great, because that's all he needs. They're okay with that, and that's awesome. Oh, Jason, I didn't know you tested Beeling. Yeah, I did. So in your testing, have you found any issues with Beeling and the GPU dock? I didn't find any issues. It was totally fine. No problem. I just didn't try it with a PCIe 5 GPU. I tried it with like a 7900 XTX, and it worked just fine, which at the time was one of the most powerful cards. So that was pretty good. So yeah, should be pretty good. Kodi on PC with big box. Gotcha. Most 4K movie files on streaming services are around 10 to 15 gigs, compressed to hell. Hence why I started collecting 4K Blu-rays. Yeah, and a lot of people do get to that point where they're like, man, this sucks. I want more. There is a 100% chance that Mrs. Fix It wants to watch a show on the streaming service we are not subscribed to. Yeah, that's always like that. We don't have any streaming subscriptions now. I think we have a Netflix, I think. But it's free through our phone service. And I think we have Max, which is free through our internet service. Like they give it as like a promo. I don't use it. I use Plex most of the time, but truly 99% of what I watch is on YouTube. Like I'm just a YouTube frog. I have YouTube Premium. I do pay for that. And my God, have you used YouTube without YouTube Premium? It's insufferable. But yeah, I mostly use YouTube. That's why I have no problem paying for the premium because it helps support the creators that I watch 24/7. But whenever I do watch stuff, I do have a Plex server. And yeah, so, but it's not often. And my wife, she watches a lot of stuff that is not like mainline Hollywood stuff. It's stuff from like other countries. And so there's no way to legally watch it here in the States. So she kind of has to watch it from different websites and stuff. Like it's not on Netflix. It's not on Hulu. It's not on anything. So like she has to illegally watch it. And so those don't require a subscription. So she just watches it directly from those websites that are basically built to help people who aren't in those countries watching the videos. You know what I mean? So we're good to go. Yeah, 4K streaming to me isn't quite there. I get why people buy Blu-ray. I agree, yeah. We got the Christmas deals on Hulu and Netflix. Tubi and YouTube are pretty great. Nice. Good find. Kodi has an add-on repository for Big Box that control everything with a controller and can switch from Kodi to Big Box. And Big Box also has an add-on for Steam games. It's a console experience. Easiest setup for my wife. Very cool. That's one thing you have to always consider, guys. How does your complicated, stupid setups affect the people around you? Before it was the streaming boxes and the Kodi and the Big Box, Casey, it was the 10 remotes. There was people like before, like let's say 20, 25 years ago, they had the speaker system, they had the TV, they had the DVD player, they had the Blu-ray, they had this, they had that. And so like the living room had 8 remotes and no one but the person who set it up knows how to use it. And so you're just like, how do I turn it on? How do I turn it on? How do you turn it on? What are your thoughts on YouTube Premium Lite? What is that? I think is that like you get some ads? Because no, I'm not doing that. YouTube is tough to watch without premium. Truly, I don't know if I would ever do it. It's just a nightmare. But YouTube Premium, I think is totally worth the money. I learn from YouTube. I learn tons of stuff, free classes on YouTube all the time. I learn how to repair my house. I learn how to do stuff for video editing. I learned so much from it that it's worth every price of admission. I watch so much content on it. I get to enjoy VODs of streamers. I get to watch creators I support. I get to learn on it. Like it's podcasts, video podcasts, everything. It is, to me, the best. I have no problem paying the subscription fee ever. I will always pay it. I have no problem with it. It does not matter how much they charge. And I hope YouTube doesn't hear that. I don't want them to increase the price, but I'm just saying, in reality, if they charged $50 a month, which God help us all if that ever happens, I would still pay it because truly I use it all day, every day. I listen to music on it. I sleep with YouTube music on. I watch different creators on it. I listen to podcasts. Like truly, I would pay any amount of money to not have to get ads, and I can still support the creators I enjoy. Like that's, and on any device, on my phone, on my TV, on my car, like on anything, I can do that. And that's what I like. Some ads and no downloading and no music, $8 versus 14. No, I wouldn't do it. Some ads. Okay, no downloading, no music, whatever. But the fact that there are some ads, no, I'm not doing it. I'll never go back. I'm glad it exists. Don't get me wrong, because there are some people who can't afford $14, and that's great for them. I'm glad they found a way to make it cheaper for people who use YouTube all the time. But for me, I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Casey Walls, it took me hundreds of hours to learn how to do my setup. Every family or friend that sees it asks me to replicate it in their home. It's a tedious process. YouTube APKs out there that have no ads for free. I know, Casey, but that wouldn't support the creators I enjoy. You know what I mean? It's also that, like, I understand this is content. The content was created by other creators, and I really like creators. I like YouTube. I like supporting independent creators. And if that means watching an ad or paying a little bit of money, I don't mind paying a little bit of money. You know what I mean? I know different things exist for sure, but this is no problem. YouTube Premium supports family groups, so if you have a friend or 4, that's what I do. We have a YouTube family where we have 6 people on it, and so we pay less than the actual money than they cost. So, but even then, I'm saying I would pay the full price if I had to. But we do that, yeah. There still is no clarification as to what some ads mean. Yeah, I guess I'd have to see it, but just the fact that there's any would not be it for me. I use YT Prem. It's great for working nights and a solo job. Like you say, got all them ad-free videos, podcasts, and music on tap. Yes, exactly. For me, it's a no-brainer. I will always have it. I cannot imagine not having it. It's the only subscription I live and die by. Do I wish it was free with no ads? Well, obviously. But I also live in this world, and I understand that content is expensive. And putting it into my face is expensive. So because I pay for it, I 4K every video I watch, even if I'm only listening. I 4K everything. 4K on my phone, 4K on my computer, 4K on podcasts. because if I'm going to pay for it, I'm going to get everything out of it. And 4K on podcasts, I know it sounds stupid, but it does generally increase the quality of the audio as well because they're linked together. You can't really like do 144p video quality and then better audio quality. They're mixed together. So I'll generally do the highest one, which has a better bit rate generally. But yeah, so I know I sound like a YouTube simp, but I truly am. I love YouTube. Jason, I hate to say this, for the vast majority of technology, I find the cheapest way to go about it. That's fine. Yeah, I think that's fine. It's kind of like a hobby for a lot of people. It's kind of like min-maxing, right? It's fun to find the most efficient way to get the most out of something. And I think that's fine. I think that's pretty cool. There are some things that I generally will pay more for, and then there's some things that I pay nothing for because I don't care, right? So let me put it this way. This mic is pretty expensive. This webcam is expensive, and that's because I'm using it for this stream and for videos and stuff because that's important to me. This shirt was $4 because I don't care, right? The hat was $5 because I don't care. It's like you choose, but a lot of people are like, I would never wear a $5 shirt or a $5 hat, and that's because they put a lot of value into it, and I don't. And so it just depends. Like you pick and choose where you spend the money, and sometimes it's fun to kind of get the most out of whatever you can. You know, I totally get that too. Have you dabbled in Debrid yet? I've never even heard of that. I have not dabbled in it. Nah, YouTube is pretty good despite its problems. Exactly. There's no alternative, and that's the problem. Netflix, there's an alternative. It's called Hulu. There's an alternative. It's called Tubi. There's an alternative. It's like they're all showing different kinds of content, of course, but it's generally TV shows and movies, right? But there's no alternative to YouTube. There's nothing, and so you have to just suck it up, unfortunately. Anyone get attached to their hardware when they have to sell it after an upgrade? I really like my Asus TUF 37 Ti. Let me think. Personally, no. I don't get attached to hardware because I keep a steady flow of it coming in and out. But I can understand a lot of people get attached to things. I try not to get attached. I try not to get attached to stuff because I try to be a minimalist where I can and think like some things just need to get out, some things need to come in. But I can understand getting attached to some stuff, yeah. The Brit is like $9 for half a year. Torrents become streams if you catch my drift. Nah, I don't want that. I'm not. It's like a third party thing. I'm paying. Nah. Too much work. I like downloading it. I don't really like streaming it. And that's basically just like, I don't know. I don't like paying third party. People for subscriptions like that. I don't trust them with my information anyway. That's interesting. I'll check it out. It sounds interesting. YouTube has a channel for free movies with ads, and that's fine for me if I struggle to pick something to watch. I have heard that. I've seen that. It'll say like watch with ads, right? There you go. Free movies. Let's go. You don't even need premium for that. That's pretty cool. I actually just last night I stayed up. Like I said, for people who were here early in the stream, I am painting my closet right now. Like we're doing a lot of construction. In my closet, I have my network server and my 3D printer and stuff and all the materials in there. So all that had to come out. And so I took this opportunity to swap my stuff to a new network rack because the old one, the wheels broke. And the new one I got for free from a friend who was going to use it for something else. And then they decided not to use it. It's surplus from their work or something. So they gave it to me and I did all of that and it's looking really good. And I can't wait to put it into a video because I really want to do a video showcasing my home server network stuff because I find that very interesting. And I don't know if my audience does. A lot of my audience, I feel like they only like PC gaming and I like a lot of things. And so it's going to be interesting to see if you actually watch that video, but I do look forward to showing it. Here, I think I can flash the camera at the rack. Let's see. I know you guys like flashing. Over there. Like I said, it's pretty messy, but that's the rack right now. And I try to cable organize it the best I can. Look at all this crap, I'm telling you. I had to completely clear out my closet. This room is an absolute mess. But look forward to that if y'all like home network, home server stuff. I want to do a full rack update. ISPs can't even tell, though. It's a safeguard, especially if you use VPN. Cool. I do have a VPN, so yeah. Nice. Please do share. Okay, I will, Kuya. Thank you. I'm always afraid that like people don't like home network stuff, because there are like, this channel started off as like a PC handheld channel. I don't know if anyone who was here in the very early days, and then I started to transition to PC stuff, and I still do handheld stuff, but I want to do anything I'm interested in, right? Whether that be hardware, software, and I really like home server stuff. I like networking. I like IT stuff in general. I like all of it. I like PC gaming. I like handhelds, and I'm always afraid if people aren't gonna watch it. And really frustratingly, my last video, which was uploaded about 5 days ago, was about using an eGPU on the Legion Go. I thought it was a great video. Not many people watched it. It only has like 1,000 views, which is not a lot for my channel, to be honest. Generally, I'll average like 10,000 at that point. So it's like in the dirt, and I don't know why. I liked the video. I thought it was interesting. Kind of sucks. Hopefully it gets picked up in the algo. The Ivanki bought an ad on it, and they might be mad that it didn't perform well. I don't know. They're still gonna pay me, but it's still like, I don't know. If someone pays you, you kind of want to do a good job. You know what I mean? Seeing your network setup would be great once it's finished. Thanks, Nathan, for sure. I get access to full 4K movies with all Dolby enhancements. I've seen 4K movies that are 70 plus gigs. Yeah, a lot of them are humongous, man. I was looking at like Dune 2, and it was, I think, like, obviously they'll have it in like different resolutions, but like the top of the line one with like all the stuff on it, humongous files. Like, it's too much, man. I don't want that much. I think 4K is what I want, and I'm okay with just leaving it at that. Let me move this right there. Okay, guys, I'm gonna call it there. We averaged like 50 people, and that's all of you guys. Thank you so much for coming to watch out. We've never had this many people on the stream, so I'm super happy you all came out. I stream every Monday at 7 p.m. CST right here. So I'd love if you came by. Next week, I'm going to be building another computer, most likely, or we might be doing something else. So get subscribed if you're not subscribed. I appreciate everyone who came to come tonight. It's been super fun. I usually end it a little bit earlier, but we're hanging out, so I thought I'd stick around a bit. So I appreciate everyone who came to hang out. All the people in the chat, even the lurkers. Love all the lurkers. You guys are great. Thanks so much for coming out. Have a great week, and get ready. There's going to be a video this week on the channel about an ITX gaming PC using the, I think, Casey, you might have been the one to tell me to check this one out. It's like a thermal take ITX case that's blue, if you know what I'm talking about. I'm not sure what it's called, but it's going to be a good one. I'm working on it now, and hopefully I can get it out. But yes, I appreciate everyone for coming out. Thank you guys so much. Let's see. Yeah, bring on the network content. You slapped that 3070 in the Legion like an absolute Chad. I know, dude. Nathan, thank you so much. Mars, thank you. JT, have a good night, man. Robert, Casey, George, Kuya. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great night. Have a great week, okay? Next Monday, all right? Every Monday. We're doing it. It's happening. Real quick, I have a custom-built PC that was already built for me off Facebook Marketplace for $300, but my case is so big, but I don't know what case smaller. You can get a smaller case. If it's MATX, get an MATX one. If not, just get it's called a mid-size. Get a mid-size tower ATX case, okay? Or post in the Discord. Someone will help you out, man. Thanks, guys. Have a great night. VT and Wesley, Tech Blacksmith, you guys are awesome. Mr. C&D, thank you so much. I'm going to drop one more link to the Discord if anyone wants to join. Again, this is just for you guys. Don't tell people. I'm going to rework it in a few days, okay? We'll have some more channels other than just general. But feel free to ask your questions in there.